Why can't I get off of this page? Do you ever hate everybody and everything? Because sometimes I just do. And YouTube is one of those. And if I don't get a new computer soon, I'm going to lose my shit. Because I fucking hate YouTube. Hi, Tay. Do you hate YouTube? Because I hate YouTube. I can never get this working. I'm going to try. You guys... This never is working. I just want to log in to TikTok right now so I could broadcast over to YouTube, but it's saying that I've tried to log into TikTok too many times, and I literally just sat down and tried for the first time, so I don't know. And it's literally my login, so it just sucks, man. I just want to log in to my account. Why is it saying the maximum tries? Because I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. I'm going to try one more thing. Why is it like it wants me to log in, but no matter which account I use too, it's saying... Yeah, you can't log in on that account because you've tried too many times. How can that be? They're different accounts. How? Now I'm just pissed off. I can't even play my theme song now. I'm really sad. I'm just so sick of YouTube. So we're not broadcasting to YouTube for the first time, although the last 4 million times didn't work anyway, and I had to re-upload the videos to YouTube anyway. And now I can't play my theme song because my iPad isn't working, and I can't even pull it up on my laptop because TikTok won't let me log in on my laptop under any account whatsoever. So that sucks. Hi, Schley. Hi. Listen, I don't know how to see your name, but we're in chat together all the time. MDNT, Midnight Rain? Is that right? Did I get it right? I hope I did. Because sometimes it's hard to tell what people's names are. Hey, Foxx, come on up. I can sing you guys my theme song. Nobody wants to hear that, though. Nobody wants to hear that. Hey, Foxx, how are you?
I'm good. I had to find Quan. Quan had to take the dogs out real quick.
Okay. Alrighty. You guys want me to sing it to you?
Yes.
It's a brand new day and she's back again. Get yourself a beverage, let's get settled in. It's Decon Q&A with CrystalJae. Hey, 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 all our favorite heathens gathered in one place. All our questions answered, our favorite creators on display. It's Decon Q&A with CrystalJae. That's the best I got for you.
That was dope.
How are you guys doing today?
Wonderful. How are you?
Doing good. I was listening to you guys while I was driving home from shopping today.
Uh-oh.
That was all good. Thank you for the heart, me. Thank you so much. So, have you guys watched the show very much? It's okay if you haven't, okay? It's a little show.
I've watched it a few times.
I'll catch it sometimes, yeah.
Okay, so here's how it goes. I'm going to start by asking you guys 10 icebreaker questions. And then after I get done, we'll invite people to come up. Sometimes they're a little shy, so sometimes they'll ask questions in the comments. We'll read them out to them if they do. Unfortunately, I can't get YouTube to work today, so there's no YouTube questions today. But I will be uploading this over to my YouTube channel. If you're not following me over there, I am CrystalJae. I am CrystalJae over on YouTube. And after we do that, at the end of the show, we're going to play everybody's favorite game that I made up called Divine or Decline, okay? Does this sound good?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
You know,
right.
Quan competitive.
No, listen, I'll be listening to Divine or Decline, and I'll be fumbling the whole time because CrystalJae.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It is a hard game. Well, the thing is, when you realize that they stole everything from the Bible, that's why they all sound alike. So it's really hard to tell the difference, you know. But you guys keep tapping the screen, sharing out the live, and doing all the good things. Thank you so much for the heart me's. We need to get to 5,000 shares, 100 likes as quickly as possible. Within the first 10 minutes is preferable. I do not get pushed out until all those things are met. Also, don't forget to do the heart me's and then go up and grab your team points as well, because that boosts us in the team rankings, and being a part of a team boosts you out in the algorithm even more. Plus, if you haven't subscribed, think of doing so today. It's less than a cup of coffee a month, and I bring you amazing creators like Quan and Foxx, and pretty soon, allegedly Ian's gonna be here. So, you know, I brought Justin here, Thinker's been here, Mezzo, Joyful, Joel. We bring you everybody. So just make sure that you support the live by subscribing today if you can. And if you're already subscribed, consider gifting out some subscriptions to chat. They really appreciate that. And here we go with the icebreaker questions, okay? What is your biggest irrational fear?
Foxx. Irrational?
Mm-hmm. You're rational.
I'm afraid of the dark.
Are
Like,
you?
I don't know why, but I'm just kind of scared of the dark. Mm.
I think that the dark is kind of scary. Oh, Schley, thank you. Thank you so much.
I gotta have a nightlight and my baby.
I think that I don't like the dark either. I like a little light on. I like some light on. I want to know where I'm at, what's going on around me. I don't want any surprises.
And contrary to popular belief, that light over the top of the stove is a nightlight.
Thank you. It is. What about you, Foxx?
My goodness, I don't be fearing too many things anymore. I've been through a lot.
Nice.
I guess I say, because I'm still scarred from school, is passing gas in public when I really gotta pass gas and I can't squeeze my cheeks too tight. So I think that's my biggest fear, because I'm scared it might be like in the store and then somebody walks behind me and get a whiff of it. It's bad.
That's
I think that's my
hilarious.
biggest fear.
I used to work with the prettiest, cutest little lady up in Lake Tahoe, California. And she owned a little restaurant up there called Joni's. Her name was Joni. I think it was called Joni's. I don't remember, but her name was Joni. She owned a little restaurant up there. If you're from Lake Tahoe, you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, she used to walk out on her restaurant floor and quietly let one out to make all the customers like accuse each other. And then like sneak back off the floor. Like she would just walk out, do a little and leave a little stinker behind. She was like, I'm not afraid of it.
That's just nasty.
Isn't that just horrible? And just let them all look at each other like they did it, you know? And she thought that was hilarious. My irrational fear is microwave ovens. I'm not so weird like that I won't use one or anything, but let's just say I don't like to stand near one when it's running. Like I have a fear it's going to explode or something. Yeah. I don't like them.
Are you going to cook? I remember being told, like, don't stand in front of the microwave while you're making stuff because it's going to cook you from the inside out.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like standing close to them. So I'll put it in and then walk away and wait for it to ding. I don't need to be there waiting for it. Okay, can you do any celebrity impressions?
That's all Quan. That's all Quan. I can't do a single impression. I sound like a that's all Quan right there.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Noodle. No, don't do it like that, Mr. Noodle. It goes over here. Elmer loves science. Elmer
Oh
loves
my
fruit.
God.
Oh,
That is the best.
Elmo found an amazing book. Today we're gonna read.
Oh my God. That is awesome, Quan. That was great. I cannot do any celebrity impressions, but people tell me all the time that I sound like Roseanne Barr when I talk.
Yeah.
And I find that insulting. I do not sound like that raspy old bitch.
That's fucking blasphemy. That's blasphemy.
What?
Blasphemy.
Got it. Roseanne?
I do not have any of like, because she has still a little bit of her old New York accent or whatever her stupid Midwest, whatever that accent is, she still has it. I don't have that accent. I didn't grow up anywhere near there. I don't sound all, I don't know. She sounds all, I don't know, just nasty. I don't sound like her. But I get it sometimes. And then people say, you sound like Melissa McCarthy. Well, those two women don't sound alike. So y'all going to need to make up your mind which one I sound like. Because Melissa McCarthy and Roseanne Barr might both be overweight women, but they don't sound alike.
Why?
I don't know. Okay, let's see. What's the most amount of cash you have ever paid for anything in one purchase where it was just cash? Here you go.
It was a computer, $650, or a little bit around that much.
In one purchase?
Yeah.
Yes.
For one thing?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I buy things. Like, I do hauls.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like just go buy one thing. Or like, yeah. Like, I'm the person, like, I can't go to a store and just have in my mind, like, I'm going to get this one thing. Because if there's multiple things in the store, I'm all over the place.
Yeah. I once paid $8,000 cash for a car. And the reason we did it in cash was it was like it's a 1966 Mustang, and it was sitting in her garage completely restored, and she didn't take it out if it rained. She didn't take it out if it rained.
It was worth it.
And so I was scared because that was a lot of money to roll up to somebody's house with, like in Kansas City area too. I was like, you know, but we did it, and I have that car to this day, and I love it. But that was the most I ever did. I felt like I was rich. It was $8,000. I was like, woo, I have $8,000. Okay, let's see. What's the dumbest injury you've ever had? What did you do? How did you hurt yourself?
It wasn't my fault, people. I have to start the story with that. It wasn't my fault. Okay, so I was hanging out. I was, young teenager, about 15 years old, and I was going past the park, and I saw my friends on those things. It's like the jungle gym, all that stuff. There's a sliding board on it. So they were just hanging out talking, and I went over, and we were sitting there talking, and then when we go to depart, I slide down the sliding board, and it was like one of those spiral sliding boards. But they don't just make them like that. They're like click-clack pieces that go down. So that divider in the middle, somebody had wedged a piece of glass through those spaces.
Oh my
Lay down, and yes, my left butt cheek. Hold on. Yeah, my left butt cheek. Got it. I had to check it. No, is it
Oh
my
my
right butt
God.
cheek? No, it's my right butt cheek. Okay, my butt is special. I just want you to know that
Your butt is
I have a
special.
unique butt. My butt is one of a kind. But I slid down and I got a scar about this long. I had to have 44 stitches in my right ass cheek. Now, mind you, I'm a teenager. So my dad used to be like, come here, let me clean your stitches for you. And I'll be like, no, what are you, leave me alone, right? But, I feel like, left cheek, right cheek, I got a little thing going on because on my left butt cheek, I have a birthmark. And it's the exact same birthmark that's smack dead on my dad's face.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Left cheek, right cheek. So, you know what I'm saying? I had to have, a little accent on the right butt cheek, but I still got the scar. Yep.
Oh my gosh. What about you,
felt like-
Fox?
I was glad that it would happen to me because little kids over there and they like to
Yeah.
Superman down a sliding board. And if that
Oh my
somebody
God.
3-year-old or something, that could be like
Yeah.
it was a dumb
could have been
but it was one I was willing to take for the team because nobody knew it was in me.
Yeah, and you didn't do it, so it wasn't really dumb on your part, really. It's dumb on the person's part who decided to be an asshole, really.
Yeah. So mine,
Okay, Fox.
I have two equal ones. So on this arm right here, you remember those old popcorn poppers that had the
Yeah.
cover, the big cover, and you put the oil at the bottom and throw the popcorn in there. So my mom would tell us don't get too close to it because the oil pops and the butter pops out. And we used to like watch popcorn fight. You know how we like, because you can see it pop, so we call it fighting popcorn. And I got real close and the oil got right on my arm and burnt me. But the other one was my mom used to turn the oven on and she would stick her feet on the oven. And while she's in the, have her feet on the oven to keep warm, she would put chestnuts in the oven. And I thought I was slick and she fell asleep. And I reached over to get a chestnut and I burnt my stomach.
Oh,
Don't steal.
no.
It's not good. That won't steal.
Oh my
Don't
goodness.
steal.
Stealing.
The guy called, hey, don't steal. Don't steal. I still got the scars. I still got both of the scars. They're never going away. Teach me not to steal.
Well, one time when I was little, I was on those monkey bars, that jungle gym thing, it looked like it was made out of triangles, but it was a half dome, you know what I mean? But anyway, I was on those, and I had learned on the monkey bars, which are the ones that just look like three, different size bars or whatever, that if I sat up on it, I could fall forward without my hands on it or anything and still hold myself on. But I did that on the jungle gym, and there was a bar underneath, and I slammed my face into the bar. I almost broke my nose. It was a horrific bloody nose, but that was probably one of the dumbest injuries I've ever had. I just went boom right into it. Not smart.
Well, I
Okay.
made it.
Going with the dumbest injuries. Now we're going to talk about your cringiest, drunkest moment. When was your cringiest, drunkest moment?
I have so many of them.
I know, me too. Just tell ones that you can tell, okay?
I'm going to tell the one I had at Fox's house.
Oh no.
Because I thought for some reason, like, Fox and her occupation, I'm thinking like, we're going to have us some drinks. Fox is like, shots, take a shot. And like, I don't take shots like that. Like, I never, was shotting it up like that. So, needless to say, I had too many shots. Everything I had eaten ended up coming up. And I passed out on the toilet. If I come and get me. This is the first time coming over her house and this is gonna happen. Damn, I was so embarrassed. But Fox was so kind about it. Yeah, I passed out on the toilet in Fox's house. It happens.
That is funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
And They cheated in Connect Four.
Oh, I
No, we
believe
did
that.
not.
That's my story, and I'm sticking beside it.
Don't stick behind. We have the receipts and we have video. Don't let her tell that story. Don't.
Okay.
I I was drinking soju in Korea, and we was at a bar, and I ended up I don't know if anybody ever drinks soju. We used to have the Kool-Aid, and then they have like a whole bunch of soju in there, so you can't even taste it. And then we would do shots with the soju inside the beer. So we would drink those, and you don't notice how inebriated you get. So we went to the club, and I don't know how I ended up in my friend's bed with my ex-girlfriend that I didn't know was in Korea at the time. I don't know how I got anywhere. It was cringy. Because I woke up and I was like, what you doing in my house? And she's like, no, we at Tanya's house. I said, I'm at Tanya's house. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, I grew up in Southern California in the 80s, and that's when I used to party, was in the late 80s, early 90s. And one time, and I used to hang around a bunch of musicians, and so I knew people who knew people in the business and stuff. And so when I was invited to Mike Love's house of the Beach Boys, and to go to a party, and I was like, all right, let's go to a party over here. And so I drove out there, and I brought a bottle of tequila, and I went in, and John Stamos was there, and and a bunch of the Beach Boys were there. I don't remember which ones were there, to be honest. I just remember that I think Mike Love was there, but I don't think. Maybe one other guy was there for the Beach Boys. I don't know. John Stamos was there, and then all my friends were there. So I didn't really know even hardly anybody there but my friends, like my girlfriends and stuff. And I decided to play, you take a shot and I'll take a shot. And I just kept doing that all night. If you take a shot, I'll take a shot. And the next thing I remember is being passed out on their couch. And I remember that I could hear everything, but I couldn't respond to anything. I felt paralyzed. I felt kind of like I heard people going, oh my God, is she okay? And I'm thinking, yes, I'm okay, but I can't talk. And so people are talking to me and coming by and stuff, and I cannot move. I can't function. I can't talk. I can't anything. The next morning, I woke up in my friend's house, and I was like, how did I get here? And they were like, Nancy drove. Nancy, if you all have watched shows in the past, was my arch enemy, okay? She drove me in my car. She drove my car into my friend's house and got me there safely. But yeah, that was embarrassing. It was. I have no memories of that night other than John Stamos was there. He asked me out, and I declined. So yes, I declined John Stamos. There you go.
No.
But
I'm gonna just shake my head.
He only asked me out because I was the only girl not hitting on him. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, I kind of don't like that you did that. Like, all those girls wanted you. You could have, but I was with somebody, so that's why I wasn't into him. I was already dating somebody, and I was like, so the only reason you're hitting on me is because I didn't come over to you, and that's, I don't know, that's kind of cringy to me. So I was like, nah, bye, see ya. But that night, he got drunk too, and he had a Mustang too, because we were checking out each other's cars because we both had the same car. And I had a 68, and I think he had a 66. And he wrapped his around a pole that night. He did not make it home as safely as I did. Thank you, Nancy. Even though I hated you back then, you got me home safely. Thank you. I should think.
Just shout out to Nancy. Even
Shout
though
out
we
to
hate you, Nancy, we
We
love you.
hate you, but thank you. Thank you.
That
Did you have an imaginary friend as a kid?
No, I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. I didn't have room for an
Yeah.
imaginary.
Did you have one, Fox?
Do I gotta answer that question? Yeah, I had an imaginary friend. It was 10 of us, and I was the baby. I had to have an imaginary friend because some of my brothers and sisters like me.
Oh no!
I never
I know.
named it. I never named it though. I never named it. I just used to talk to it at night. Yeah,
That's
I never
funny.
named it though.
I didn't have an imaginary friend, but my daughter did when they were little, and I would be like getting them out of the bath stuff, and you know how little kids are wiggly and stuff. I would be like, "Come here, naked Jake, let's get you dried off or whatever." Well, my daughter thought it was funny that I would call her Naked Jake, so she ended up having a best friend that she called Naked Jake. Now that was fine until you were in public, and then she would start talking about how Naked Jake was talking. Like, oh, Naked Jake is her imaginary friend, okay? It's not a real person.
Me and Naked Jake. Aw, that's
Yeah, you know. Yeah, she blamed it on like she would be, I didn't do that. Naked Jake did that. I'm like, oh my goodness. This Naked Jake, I'm telling you. Okay, who was the worst teacher you ever had and why?
I liked all my teachers. I was a teacher's pet.
Me too. I had one bad teacher though. I had a teacher who taught Spanish, and on my first day, I said hola instead of hola, and he yelled at me, and he told me, "You will never ever speak Spanish." And I was so humiliated because it was day one. I was like, man, he's giving up on me quick. Pero yo puedo hablar en español, ¿ok? Señor Córdoba, yo puedo, mi.
Okay, so
Es no para ti, señor Córdoba. Es no para ti.
so he didn't know what he was talking about in your space. Even though I don't understand it. I took French in high school, but I'll tell you about the teacher, because there was a teacher. I had to think about it. Mr. Smith. What's he mean to me? No. He was too nice to me. That made him a horrible teacher, because he always wanted to hug me and tell me he loved me all the time. And that was unhealthy. And at some point, I went, he's making me feel uncomfortable. I was in middle school. But it was the Greek teacher. Yeah.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
the
not
more
good.
memorable teachers were like Mrs. Pennington, and she was a phenomenal black woman, and she was so intelligent, and she realized that I like to write, and I liked literature, I like to read, and that I could spell, and she saw that in me and just like encouraged it and was like, yeah, you're doing so great. We're gonna put you in the spelling bee. You're gonna do awesome. Like, she just encouraged my love
I
for
love that.
literature. So, like, I remember those teachers more because they had more of an impression on me. Right?
Yeah.
One, Mrs. Lovett, middle school, she taught Spanish and language survey, and everybody loved her because you come in the classroom and she'd be like, hi, my baby. Like, she was just the kindest, open-hearted, free-spirit, patchouli smelling woman, okay? And she loved everybody. I remember teachers more than the ones that were super caca.
Yeah. I I did have way more teachers that were good, thank goodness, than I did, the Mr. Cordobas. But I did have a couple of Mr. Cordobas. So I did have a couple. What about you, Fox?
Bad teachers?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if the teachers, like the bad teachers were, I don't know. Just the one in Africa who made me poop myself. Because I had, she had something against American children. Because they knew we came from America, and stayed out in Liberia. And I told her that it was in Hilton Van East School. I'll never forget it. The school was just horrible. And I had told her that I had to go to the bathroom because, when you first get down there and you're drinking the water and all this stuff, everything just runs through you when you go to different countries. And I will never forget, it was a purple flower, little small purple flowers on a white one-piece short set. And I had it on, and I had to go to the bathroom, and I raised my hand, and I asked her, and I was begging, and then she wouldn't let me go, so I used the bathroom with myself, and all the kids laughed at me, and then she laughed at me, and then I had to stay in school, because it was almost the end of the day, stay in school, and then when I came home, I told my grandma, and my grandma went up there, but yeah, she was a really bad teacher. Bad teacher. Y'all,
That's the second story.
Okay.
That's the second story that somebody has told on here where a teacher would not let a child go to the bathroom. Why is that a common practice with teachers? It's a human function. Let them go to the bathroom. My goodness. That's ridiculous. That teacher would not. I don't know. Do you guys have kids? Do either of you have kids? Okay,
I do.
that's your
I
kid,
have
Quan.
kids.
I
have kids.
So I was I was the one who showed up to the schools for my kids, because my parents didn't do that for me. If I told them a teacher did something or whatever, they always believed the teacher, never me. I hated it. It was horrible.
That's messed up.
They always believed adults over me, over their children in general, not just me, and their other children too. But so for me, I was at the school, so they were like, "Uh-oh, Mrs. Yeager's here again." We don't want to have her talk to us, do we? My children were in the gifted program, for instance. So my son went through it first, and then my daughter was tested, and she was put into the program. But they stopped doing anything when she went into program. What they did was they were like, they're gifted kids, so just let them sit there for an hour or so and do whatever they want. So they weren't doing anything. They literally were just hanging out and talking and stuff. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not the gifted program. They're supposed to do things like Odyssey of the Mind and Continental Math League and things like this that would push them harder than if they were in the regular classes. What are you doing? Just put her in the regular class if you're not going to do anything with her. It's so dumb. So I had to show up, and I was like, let's talk. Let's talk about what the gifted program is going to do this year, because it's not going to be sit around and do nothing all year. They were like, uh-oh, Mrs. Yeager's here. Yeah, I'm the one who would do that. And I would not have put up with hearing that my child was not allowed to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
That teacher, I would get there, and I'd make that teacher poop her pants by the time I got done with her.
My grandma did it, so I wasn't too worried about it. My grandma went up to the school, and then that next day we was in a Catholic school, so I don't know which one was worse.
What's the weirdest or scariest dream you've ever had?
Oh, dang. Hey, Tommy J. So the weirdest dream I ever had, and this was a reoccurring dream.
I want to see
it. It was a reoccurring dream that I was being chased by this demon like witch, right? And she would always pop out of a tree, and I couldn't run. You know how in your dream you just can't run? So the first night I had the dream, I kind of woke up quick. Then the second night, I don't know, maybe my mind did some Dream Warrior, because I like Freddy Krueger movies. So my mind must have did some Dream Warrior things, because I was like, oh, if I can't run like that, I would use my hands to run. And this was a reoccurring dream I used to have as a kid, like all the time. And so every night, every time I have that dream, I would use my hands to run, and I could run faster away from her. But she would always chase me. And another weird dream was when I was into the church real heavy, when I was trying to find a church. And so I was going from church to church, church, church. It was like this real vivid dream that I saw the Jesus come down, and he said, "Come to me." And I was like standing in front of him, like he was on the altar, and I was standing in front of him. And he said, "Come to me." And I said no and ran away from him. No joke. It was so vivid. I will never forget that dream, because that was the time that I left the church. I left the churches that I was trying to find a church. I said, I'm going to stop, because I said no. He told me to come with open arms. I was like, no.
Wow.
Weird, right?
Yeah, that is weird.
Good job, Foxx. F that guy. You know? He's going to make you, like, eat his flesh and drink his blood. I'm creepy. Ow!
This is Tux.
God, you're so cute. I thought that was a stuffed animal.
Tux, look up at the camera.
Oh my God.
Tux is unbothered. Okay, so the weirdest dream I've ever had. Okay, so my dreams are different. I can't explain it, but I have dreams that tell the future. So it's true. Sometimes I don't know. Well, the first one I just told the other day. What was it today? It was today, this morning, where everybody knew my mom was pregnant. Right? Pregnant, she's giving me have a baby. She got her tubes untied to pop out another kid. I wouldn't have advised it, but she did it anyway, so we knew she was pregnant. My sister, whom I shared a room with, was also pregnant, but I didn't know. Nobody knew except for her. And she knew because she had stolen a pregnancy test from the store. But she never told me. And I told my mom that I had a dream, because there was an episode of Bill Cosby where like Cliff and Theo are in the labor room having a baby at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that episode? So I had a dream that my mom and my sister were in the labor room having a baby at the same time, just like that. And I told my mom, I was like, I had a dream you and Michelle were in the labor room having a baby at the same time. And she goes, So she starts asking my sister these questions, right? When's your last cycle? All this stuff. And she's like, I haven't bought you any products. And she's like, has she used your products? And I'm like, no. My mother goes and gets a pregnancy test, and I'm sitting in the room waiting, like I'm sitting listening to see what's gonna happen. My mother gives her the test, and she stays in the bathroom with her. She knows that it's her test, right? The next thing I know, I hear my mom go, Michelle, who you pregnant by? And I go, yes, I'm about to be a I'm so excited. But so that was one weird dream. The second weird dream is I was married, and I was at my sister's house, and I was there with my ex-husband. My sister was there with her husband. My brother was there with his wife, and then another friend of mine was there with her husband. And then all these tornadoes was outside. Like it was just a bunch of tornadoes that came, and we were in the house, and we were all terrified. And then within a year, everybody that was in that house was divorced.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I didn't have any concept of what that dream could have potentially meant. but
Right.
it was showing like turmoil, storms in all of our relationships.
Yeah.
Within a year, everybody was divorced.
That is wild.
I got
That
the
is wild.
goosebumps. Call me now.
I've had one prophetic dream, and then that wasn't good for my health because then I thought I was, I thought I was psychic after that, and I was not. I was not psychic. But one time I dreamt that there was going to be an earthquake in California. And there was that day, but let's face it, there are earthquakes in California. So it's not, that big of a deal to dream that there's an earthquake in California. I used to have sleep paralysis though, but, and that's really scary. So what would happen to me was I would have what's known as a false awakening, where you think that you've woken up, you think you're doing stuff. And then usually what would happen for me is suddenly something about where I'm at lets me know that I'm not really awake. Like all of a sudden I'll be like, wait, I don't own this sink. This isn't my sink. Where did this sink come from? Or something like that. And then it would be like, oh, you're not awake, and then it would be like, oh, you need to wake up, Crystal. And I couldn't wake up, and I would try to scream. I would try to do whatever I could to wake up, and I couldn't wake up. And that to me was more frightening, because sometimes like I would sit there and think, what if I just get locked in like this? Or what if I die now because I can't wake up, or something? Like it's always this very scary feeling. But other people have it worse, where they feel almost like some kind of heavy thing is on top of them. That's why a lot of people think it's demonic and stuff, because they feel like this weight or something on them. Most of the time I didn't feel that. I just would feel like I'm not awake, but I need to wake up. Like I have to, and I can't, So that was kind of scary. And then one time I dreamt that when I was in church still, and the pastor and his family were really close with my family. Like I was almost like a cousin to them, like we had family dinners and stuff together. It would be the entire family of, we'll call them the Smiths, okay? The entire Smith family, and then us. So we were like their little adopted family. And one of their children's name was Nick, and I dreamt that he was in my care and he died. And then the worst part about it was I had to go tell each person in the family, and I relived that in my dream, and retelling the story again, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Nick died, and watching the mother break down, and watching the father break down, and then having to go tell the grandma. And it was just the most horrible, exhausting, emotional dream I've ever had, having to tell so many people this young man died. And of course I loved him too. He was my son's friend, right? So I'm crying while I'm telling the story. So I woke up just bawling, and my husband was like, why are you crying? And I told him and stuff. He's like, yeah, but it's just a dream. I can't help it. It felt that real. Like it just felt awful telling so many people this young man had died. It was horrible. So that was probably one of the worst ones I've had.
That would be incredibly difficult. Because when you wake up, now you're starting your day, and you're trying to love for the day, and you start off. My dreams, I suffer from anxiety, right? So a lot of times my dreams, I'm having an anxiety episode in my sleep, right? And I just, before I became, got on medication, I remember just waking up and just being on edge and being so irritated. I remember one time I went to like a church conference, and the women sharing the rooms together, and I had woken up in the morning, and I was crying. I was just crying, like, I'm so tired of having these dreams. I'm just tired. And, they put it back on me like I was doing something spiritually. Like, but it was just the simple fact that I have anxiety. And I also have CPTSD, right? And so because of that, I'm not dealing with the things in my waking hours. So it comes on me while I'm asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
My cope level is on 10. You haven't seen anybody cope. You haven't seen anybody put on the face, right? I can put on the face.
Mm-hmm.
So with my suppression, be quiet, Foxx. Don't you say nothing. With my level of suppression, like it's gonna come out. It's gonna manifest some way, and then for me, it would come out in my dreams.
Yeah, I can see that, and I think that probably had a lot to do with me too, because I can mask. I can mask with the best of them. I have my customer service voice down. So, but
Great. How are you today? I'm so happy to see you. Oh my God.
That's right. Good to talk to you. Thank you so much for calling.
Oh my gosh.
It's bound to get you eventually. So I guess, in your sleep, that's where it's going to be. It's going to be like, oh, you didn't want to let it out today? We're going to let it out right now, okay?
Are you in less control? Your subconscious
Yeah.
over. I don't know what this boy wants. He want to be picked up. He want to get down. He worried about.
I want to show everybody you. Let's show everybody you. You get your moment.
This is Mars.
Look at you.
Look at Margie.
You're so cute.
You're so cute.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
Look, it's Foxy.
And lucky he got a haircut because somebody called him Scruffy the other day when they came by the house. Just saying.
He said,
Hi.
Oh,
Hi.
It's a Scruffy dog.
He's so cute.
he's a good boy. He wants to get down now.
Okay, so what was the last thing you did for the first time?
Ooh,
So you had a first recently, and what was it? What did you do that you were like, I never did this before?
that's what all the good girls say. It's my first time. Any recent first? Well, I haven't had any recent first, but I will tell you that this moment in my life, like the last couple of years, I have been more vocal than I've ever been. Like even as a Christian, right? Because I watch creators on this app, like Jasmine's Garden, who is just able to say whatever she wants to say at any point in time. And even though I was, going into some of the Eastern practices, I'm sitting in front of my bookshelf right now, and I see Yin Yoga, Zen Buddhism, 1-2 books of that, the Zen Mind, Dhammapada, Essential Pranayama. My whole top shelf is almost like about this stuff. So she would be like, oh, your throat's chakra, you need to open it up and all that. And I was admiring that. And so this is a new experience of me just being outward and vocal and being able to say what I think when I think it and not give a damn about what anybody has to say about it.
That's amazing.
I was always like, I would be social but introverted. Because you can be the same. You can be both.
Yes.
And social means that I'm not showing you who I really am. So in this moment in my life, the last 2 years, it has been just me being me outwardly. I even share it with people that a couple days ago, I started sharing that I have a stuffy. I have a stuffy and I suck my thumb at night. I'm a human being. Right? And
I have a stuffy. I have a squishmallow.
Yeah.
That I sleep with every night.
Yeah. Oh, they're so soft. Those are so soft. Okay, yeah.
They are.
I love that.
I have a squishmallow.
You gonna make me pull out mine. I sleep with a snake. A snake
All
stuffy.
right.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh my God, that's
That is
adorable.
too cute.
Oh my God, I love it.
And I
Mine's rainbow too, but mine's just a round rainbow squishmallow. I had a heart pillow for years that I slept with because Doug gave it to me. But we went on a trip during COVID. I went and picked up my son-in-law from South Carolina to bring him to live with us. And on the way, I left that heart at an Airbnb. And the guy was nice enough to ship it to me after he pulled it out of the trash that he threw it in.
oh,
Oh.
It was kind of
Yes.
gross. So I had to get something new to sleep with because I wasn't sleeping with that anymore. As much as I love Doug, I was like, dude, I can't sleep with this anymore. It's gross.
Did you get it cleaned?
I wanted it too, but I don't know. It just kind of, sometimes something icks me out and I can't. Because
Yeah.
then
I
I was
feel
all
that.
about, I don't know what that guy did with it. I don't know. Like, I just don't trust strangers enough. It just was just gross enough that I was like, babe, I'm going to get a squishmallow because it feels the same. You know, it's all squishy and stuff. And I do. I sleep with it every night too. And Quan, I want to tell you something. I know you're a lot younger than me. And so I'm proud of you because it is really hard to get a voice as a woman. And I imagine that it's harder even still for a black woman to have her voice and feel powerful and not be afraid to say exactly what she thinks in this fucking world, you know? And I'm really proud of you because you should be able to say whatever you want to say when you want to say it. Men do.
Yeah.
And it's usually stupid when well, no, that's the number of times that it's stupid. Like I had a whole conversation about somebody was trying to convince me that the earth was created in 6 days. So I went through, we're doing a comparative analysis about what it looks like to create an earth. We go through the 6 days. And so then I go to NASA and then talk about how planets are formed. And then I ask, how long do you think that process takes? What do you say?
I don't know. What did he
Said
say?
6 days. It was then I knew that I couldn't have a conversation with this person anymore. You're too dumb for me to talk to.
Right?
And that's the audacity I want to have. Like, even if I'm saying some stupid shit just to say it with my full chest. A process
I
of
really-
millions of years.
I think sometimes that I've heard the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and then I listen to a show on here, and then I hear something else so stupid that I think, how does it get dumber each time they speak? This guy said the other day, I don't remember whose live it was, but Bash was there, and Eloso Ray was there, and Mac Lester was there. So it was like on Christina Carroll or Rhea's live or something, right? He said, and I quote, I'm a doctor of PhD. I have a
Wait, say what now?
doctorate of PhD. He said, I have a doctorate of PhD.
What is that, a player hating degree? Is that what he had a doctorate of?
So
What
he
is
has
this?
I
What?
don't know. It was. Thank you, Riptide. You were there for that. I thought, oh my God, the stupidity just doesn't stop with these people. So I just know that it took me a long time to find a voice, and I'm still finding my voice. And so when I see young women like get their voice younger, and so I don't know, it makes me really proud of them because it's not easy. It's very hard in this world. You're told to calm down because you have a little passion or something, you know, or oh, you're so emotional. You're so shut up. If you say it, you're a man. So when you say it, you're powerful and you're strong. When I say it, I'm emotional. Fuck off. Fuck off. What is that?
CrystalJae,
I don't know.
how
So
old do you think I
get
am?
proud. I think you're probably 32.
Oh, that's so nice, CrystalJae. That's so nice.
Add 14 years.
Okay, well, I'm still older than you. I'm 59. I'll be 59 June 29th, so.
Okay.
Oh no, you don't look no 59. I thought you were still in your 40s
I
or
know you've been
something, or
drinking
40s,
water.
early 40s. Yeah.
I'm trying to take better care of myself, though. I really am. You know, I got to be around for the grandbabies. They're too cute. God damn it.
Good job.
Tommy J, your birthday is June 29th? That is so fun. Let's do a live together all day on our birthday. Let's do
That'd be
some
dope.
fun.
That'd be dope.
Yes, June 29th is awesome. You know, that makes me so happy because if you don't know this, there's no cool celebrities born on June 29th, okay? So now I can say Tommy J is my cool celebrity birthday twin. We share a birthday with Gary Busey.
Oh,
Fuck that. Fuck that. Gary Busey.
Busey? Really?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. What's an inside joke? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss you?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
I didn't mean to. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
What
That
is
way,
the
wait,
last time? What is the last thing you did for the first time?
share my dance class with the whole TikTok, whoever comes and watch now. I never did that before.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
I just realized I don't
Is
even
it-
know what's the last thing I did for the first time. I don't know what I did. Have I done something? Oh, I signed 2 NDAs this year, and I never signed an NDA before for a business. So 2 different ones for 2 different business things. So
I thought it
maybe
was
some
gonna be
exciting.
I was going to ask you to breach the contract and spill the tea. But
Well, I can give you some tiny details. One is for an upcoming app that I'm working on with somebody, and the
Cool.
other is for the purchase of a campground, because Doug and I are looking at either buying some land and starting like a glamping business or a campground or something, so we can go into retirement with, doing stuff like that.
That's cool. That
Yeah.
sounds so cool.
I'm pretty excited. Okay, so what is an inside joke you have with someone that will never stop being funny to you? You guys still will say it when you're 92.
Shout out to Petty Humble Correction.
you want to go first? Fox? You go first.
Shout out to Petty Humble Correction. I'm never gonna stop saying it. Never gonna stop saying it. Humble Correction. I don't even know what that means yet.
Why you ain't just eat the sandwich code?
What?
Okay. Hold on. Okay, so my inside joke. It's okay. Everything's okay, people. Okay. So my cousin, her name is Alicia, and AKA Red, stud name Red. She passed away a few years ago, but we had, and this will forever be funny, and it will forever be our moment, right? So we were sitting in the car one day, and we were talking, and then, we kind of both, zoned out, just in thought, and the music was on, and we were listening to Beyonce's album, and Beyonce comes on, Beyonce's first album, by the way, and certainly you can call me baby, I love to hear from you, but my cousin can't sing at all, so she just busts out like, certainly you can, and the way we just busted out laughing, and whenever we hear that song, it's always a big laugh. So when she was ill and she was in a coma, I told her sister, you need to get to the hospital and you need to put me on the phone with her. And so because I know that it's a spark for that, you know? So
Yeah.
she gets to the hospital, she puts me on the phone. Now at this point, she's in a coma and she's non-responsive. And I sing it. Certainly you can call me baby. And she starts to move her body, right? Forever, forever etched in my memory. Because that's one of the things about the power of music. Like, it's
Yes.
able to cut through even a comatose state where a person could respond, right? I think sound is so important, and sound just does something for you. Like when my grandmother was getting ready to pass away, she wasn't responsive, but I hadn't seen her in a while because I had went and was truck driving, and so I hadn't been home in a while. And when they told me she had declined, I went to the house, and it was probably about 6 people in the room. My grandmother had moved; she hasn't spoken, and then my uncle goes, "You will hear this for the first time. I don't know anything about that. Anybody repeats my nickname?" Okay, so my uncle goes, "Mommy, Nika's here," and then she said, "Nika," and first time she had spoken in days. So like sound has that ability to reach you like that. But forever, that certainly you can. The song is funny to me, forever and ever and always. Hmm.
That's awesome. I love that story. That was really good. Fox just ran away, I guess. Like,
Fox, get your ass back in here.
well, there we go.
Fox, what you do? Go get something to drink, honey.
Look at this one. No, I didn't get anything to drink yet. Oh, see,
Dijon,
Dr. Pepper. That is CrystalJae right there. That Dr. Pepper right there. That's the only Dr. Pepper I would drink.
It's so
It is
good.
so creamy. It's so good. Yes.
He went to go get some ice.
Yes. I was getting some.
Okay, so Fox, what is an inside joke that will forever be funny for you?
I don't know. I don't know, because I'm always the one that's getting the joke plays. What's wrong with me? No, I would say, like I was saying before, I always say, like, it shocked me when Petty came up on the thing is Bad Bunny, and she said humble correction. And in my mind, this is like an inside joke for me. In my mind, I was like, I want to use that, and I tell Petty all the time, we're gonna make this popular. I want us to use it to play an inside joke on the Christians, because they're gonna think humble correction is a real word. And so, with so many ways that you can describe humble correction, but it's so stupid because there's no such thing as a humble correction. So
That's
why I was like,
hilarious.
yeah, humble correction is it. I can't wait to
I
hear it on
love
the
it.
streets. It's going to be on TikTok streets.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna
It
use it
is.
now. I'm gonna do it just for you, so that more
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
No.
I mean,
Yes,
that's
yes,
what you
yes.
do.
Go Petty. Go Petty.
It's like Sadak Mac Biftage, right? Like, I love it that Christians now sometimes go, "Oh, I'm like that Sadak Mac thing or whatever," because somebody told them they were. We have so many inside jokes in our family that I could never list them all. Like, we just have so many. But one of the oldest and ones that we still use to this day is one time when I was really hungry. We sat down to eat, but I got full really fast, and I said, "Oh my God, I was so hungry, but my eyes were bigger than my head." And my family goes, "What did you just say?" And I go, "What?" And they were like, "You're what?" And I said, "My eyes were bigger than my head." And they go, "Your eyes were bigger than your head." And I'm like, wait, what? What is this saying? And
What?
now whenever somebody gets full really fast, they'll go, my eyes were bigger than my head. I'm kidding. So yeah, that's
We have
one.
a couple of
You
submissions for Foxx from the comment section. The first one,
What?
Foxx, is as far as inside jokes, Foxx. The first submission from the comment section is historian.
Oh shit. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm a historian. Okay.
Okay.
All right, bet I can get
The
it.
second submission is wake up roommates, wake up roommates, wake up roommates, wake up roommates, wake up roommates.
Freaking Tommy
To
J.
the community.
You guys, that is the end of the icebreaker questions. I saw a couple of you in the guest box. The guest box is now open. Come on up, ask Quan and Foxx your questions, and don't be shy. If you are shy, though, you can ask the question in the chat, and I'll read it out to them. But the guest box is open, so come on up. While we're waiting for people to join us, I do want to ask you guys some things so I can just get to know you better. First of all, tell me a little bit about your Christian walk. Like, what was that like? What was your Christian upbringing? Were you indoctrinated? Did you become a Christian on your own accord? What was that like?
Go ahead, Quan.
Now I was just responding to Tommy J saying on Quan.
I see that.
You fine to bone fine, as I like to say. So, I was raised from infancy in church, apostolic, holiness, the strict way. You gotta wear a hat on your head, or you wear the little doily. But then, the one thing I didn't understand about the doily is, so it's like a circle, right?
Yeah.
But then they started folding it in half, and it was like a half moon. So then, like, it was only from here back. But then some people had it a triangle, and it was just like this triangle, like flapping off their head, like if they would be showering.
That's weird.
But it's not really a head covering because we were taught that you need to wear a head covering, like, because the scripture says, like, should a woman have power on her head? It was weird, definitely cultish. So all that short sleeves, no, 3/4 at least. Same with skirts. You gotta wear tights, pantyhose, stockings, no open toe shoes, no fingernail polish, no toenail polish, no jewelry unless you're married, right? No makeup on your face, no movies, like all of that. Really, really strict. You need to study the Bible. Like, I remember as a kid paying to go outside to play. Because it'd be like, Mommy, can I go outside and play? And we used to have this like encyclopedia type thing. It was like a bunch of children's Bible stories, but it was like all blue books. And so she would say, go get one of those Bible books and read something and write about it and bring it
I
to me.
remember those.
Yeah.
I remember those. They were blue little hardcover books, and there was a series, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 of them, and it had all the Bible stories in it.
Yeah,
I
we
remember
from the front
those.
with yeah. So we would
Yeah.
have to read it, go get one, read a story, write about it, give it to her. It better be right, and then you can go outside if it's biblically accurate, right? Yeah. Sunday,
Jesus Christ.
Wednesday, Friday, Saturday at church. Okay, Sunday all day because you got to go to morning and evening service. And sometimes they would cook in the middle, so you never left the church. If they decided to cook dinner that Sunday, you didn't go home until it was time to get into bed. Going to church was more important than doing your homework. So on that Wednesday, if we got to go to Bible study, yeah, you take your homework with you. You don't get time to sit and do your homework. We're going to Bible study, right? In the summertime, vacation Bible school. So while all the other kids are going to the recreation center having fun, you're going to vacation Bible school. And the van would come and pick you up to take you to vacation Bible school. So I grew up very, very indoctrinated into Christianity. Um, very psychologically, emotionally, physically abusive, being taught that I need to submit, and it's always submitting to male authority. I realized as a child that your pastor has control over your marriage and who you get married to if you get married. Because I remember my mother having to go ask my pastor for permission to marry, to do the marriage ceremony of the person she wanted to marry. But because she had been divorced, he wouldn't do it. So she had to go find another pastor to do the ceremony to get married. Um, it was just a lot, very, very Christian. So I did everything. I sang in the choir. I directed the choir. Of course, led songs. I was a Sunday school teacher. I was the youth leader. I was also an evangelist. I would go to different churches and preach. I was very, very involved. So when people say things like, well, if you read the Bible, I read the Bible more times than you can conceive because I grew up reading it as a child. And as an adult, I went out and got the Hebrew Greek study Bible and dedicated myself. I used to pray naked with a white sheet over me at home. I used to sleep with my Bible in the bed with me, right? And so for me, it was coming to accept the fact that despite how much time I devote, despite how much prayer I give out, despite how long I fast, it's never going to change physical situations. So then I was like, well, this isn't true because there are promises in the Bible, right? Asking you shall receive, seeking you shall find, knocking the door will be open to you. Well, with that doesn't happen, I can't blame myself because I know what I'm doing. I fasted for 3 days, nothing happened. I fasted for 5 days, nothing happened. I fasted for 10 days, nothing happened. Am I now supposed to fast into malnutrition? No, obviously, this scripture is a lie. And so I put down that and decided to dedicate myself to working on me, for me, empowering myself and telling myself that I can do it despite being taught that, I'm stupid. I'm wrapped in flesh, and flesh is dirty and filthy and ugly, and there's nothing beautiful about it, and that there's nothing good about me, and that my heart is desperately wicked, and all the things that they teach you in order to break your spirit, so to speak, to break you down to the point where if you can get validity in this thing, right, I'm going to pump you up in this thing and beat you down in every other area of your life. You have less of a propensity to rely on yourself or trust yourself or look to your own self in the way you think for guidance. You're just looking for this because everything that you now believe about yourself is that, you should have based that God can abound. And so it was very difficult to get out of that psychological, emotional, financial abuse. But it came because I realized that all these promises that are made in the Bible never come to fruition, and it's a complete lie. And I've been believing this my whole life because I was raised in a cult.
Yeah. Foxx?
Wow. Well, mine wasn't so bad. Yeah, my mom was very loving. She was a Catholic. I grew up Catholic. Yeah, weird, right? So, she wouldn't force us to go to church, but she would make us, before we leave the house, there was always a cross with Jesus hanging there. And we would have to pray the Our Father, Hail Mary, and the other couple of prayers before we can even leave the house. And she wouldn't let us leave without saying it because she felt that that was a protection for us to leave the house. So as I got older, my brothers them stuck with it. They taught their kids Catholicism. And all everybody in my family still goes to Catholic church. Me, luckily, I joined the military, so I started searching for religions, and this is where I really came into, like, from high school is where I really came into, because I was just like, I don't understand, like, what am I searching for? I'm searching for something. And so I got so interested in the mind in high school that I was like, you know what? The religion is now bringing, it's not bringing me, but it's making me want to study why people go through these things. What are you searching for? What do you need out of this stuff? So as I joined the military, every duty station I will go to different churches and try to be a part of it, but I never felt a part of anything. I've always been that outsider, even with my family. Being the youngest, I've always been the outsider, the weirdo kid, the one that's always ready to lead a house and just follow behind my brothers. The one that's always like, if you see a group of boys, you know this little girl is following right behind them. I was always that weirdo one that wanted to fit in everywhere but couldn't fit in nowhere because I was strange. And so I went through traumatic relationships, and that's when religion was taking a hold of me. I gave my money to a woman that said that she can cast out the demons out of my house. I believe that. She used sage and stuff like that. I gave my money to a person that said they could fix my relationship because she was a prophet. I actually gave about 10 G's to her. I gave to the church all the time because that's what we were supposed to do. Even though I grew up Catholic, I was so wrapped in like the saints and how the saints are gonna help me if I gave myself, and it was hard to break that. And even though I was searching for something that I couldn't find, I continued to do those things because it's just like when I lose my keys, I'll be like, Saint Anthony, can you help me find my keys? And then I'll find my keys. It's weird, right? This is why I get mad at the Christians when we're talking to them. So I've been there. I know that's not fucking true. I know that if you just retrace your steps, you will find out where your damn keys are.
Yeah.
But, but the saints find them for us. Saint Anthony, Saint Michael protect me. Saint Christopher, hell, Saint Augustine. Yes, he is a saint in the Catholic thing. I know. That's why I was so intrigued when you brought him up. And so these are the things that never left me. Even though I went to non-denominational, I can't stand the Baptist church. I hate Baptist church. Can't stand them because they nasty. They them big hats be getting on my damn nerves, and they talk about people too much. But I've been there. And then when I was in Korea, when I was really going through a tough time with my relationship, I ended up in a cult. And it was a Korean church that was like God around the world, or it was like just a one religion church who said that this lady was the bride of Christ. So they went off of that verse, the bride of Christ verse, right? You know how I say the church is the bride of Christ? Well, no, she was actually the bride of the church, bride of Christ. They had Christ come in before though, and he unalive. So because he unalive, because that was their second coming, now she is the one that's supposed to hold the mantle and go. And so they worship this lady. They have a whole book written on this lady, and they put you in this room almost like Scientology, and they have you watch this video. And because they were so nice, and Korean food that they made was really good, I became part of this church, and I had them baptize me in the basement of a church, in a shower, and I was dressed in all white. And then they, like, not only did they spray you, but then they toss the bucket of water on you too, and they say you baptized. Then they write your name in this book, and they say now you're in the book of life. Yo, it was weird. But I followed it because I didn't have, it was manipulation. They knew how distraught I was. They knew that I had nothing else left. I wanted to, I tried to, myself.
Yeah.
And so that cult stopped me from doing that. And so after start asking those questions and asking questions, I was like, okay, this is weird. And okay, I was at a bad place. Now I'm better. I'm helping myself. I'm going to therapy. I'm doing all these things. Then I started asking questions. They started getting mad at me because I didn't want to wash. They actually washed feet. Not the feet y'all talking about, but they actually washed people's feet on during the Passover. Like, everybody go inside the church and they are fixated on unalivement. Then the day before the Passover, whatever, people come out the church and they stand in a line and there's buckets and chairs across and they actually wash people's feet. And I was like, okay, this is weird. And I just was like, this is it. I'm not doing this no more. And so I went, I still think of spiritual things, like as far as like my my ancestors and how I thanking them and stuff like that. I dove into, I do tarot cards, I do all these things, but that's just for me now. It used to be I used to try to spread it to everybody else, but now it's just for me, for my own sanity, for my anxiety, to relieve everything that I have going on.
Yeah.
And if somebody asks me to read for them, I'm just like, well, okay, I'll read for you, but this is how you're going to interpret it. I could tell you what I could see from the cards because I know the cards. I know if I pull out the Fool, I could tell you about the Fool. And then I could talk about your life because we talked before, and I could tell you this is what's going on in your life. This is some advice. Now you take it the way you need to take it. But there's no divinity going on there.
Yeah.
But when I want to trick myself into it, then I'll say, yeah, for me, it'll be divinity because it's my shit, not yours. So
right.
That's it, yeah.
I do like that since leaving Christianity, I get to own my own shit. Like, this is for me. I'm not doing this for a God or because I have to serve man or whatever. I'm doing this because I want to do it, because I like to do it. It makes me feel good, and I don't have to answer to a higher authority anymore or sit here and go, oh, am I doing this because of a demon? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, there's too many spiritual entities in the Christian realm that might be, fucking with me. But no, not anymore, because they're not real. And now I only have me to take accountability or to whatever, like it's me now. I'm the one. And I like that. If I want to do tarot cards, I can.
Right.
I'm not going
absolutely.
to hell.
Absolutely. I'm not going to hell. And if I am, at least I'm the hell away from you. Hallelujah.
That's right. That's right.
Wake it up.
That's right. So, what made you start deconstructing?
Who already answered that? It for me, it's the promise. Whatsoever you ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. You can ask anything in my name, and I will do it. Greater things, greater works in these, like, you're supposed to be doing because He's going to the Father.
When did you start to realize, though, like, oh my God, that's just bullshit, because it never happens? Like, when did that, like, because, like, I believed that bullshit for a long time, even though I noticed it didn't really happen. I asked many things in His name, and He didn't give them to me. And they weren't, like, I hate when Christians go, yeah, but you can't just ask for cars and money and stuff. And it's like, bitch, do you think that's what Christians pray for? Because I didn't. I was praying that people didn't die, or that I could pay my bills, or that, my neighbor's child got the medicine they needed. I was not praying for riches and cars and stuff. I just wanted to not, like, cry every night when I went to sleep. Was that too much to ask for from a loving God? I don't know.
But the thing about it is, you can ask for cars because he
Yeah.
said with prayer and supplication, make with much prayer and supplication, make your request known to God. And then he also says, I would that you would prosper, even as your soul does prosper. So if it's a car that you need, you absolutely can't ask for that car. But for me,
That's right.
I feel like working is um um shit. There's I have multiple thoughts coming through my head right now, and then this. So it really is where he says he will keep you in perfect peace if you keep your mind stayed on him. Now remember, I am diagnosed with major depressive disorder, acute anxiety disorder, and CPTSD. So that means that I was self medicating with God in order to find peace. And the only thing that I found was, you're still not good enough. All your righteousness is like filthy rags. So trusting that and being like, okay, I'm looking for the perfect peace, right? I'm looking for, this is one reason why I gravitated to people like Fred Hammond. Breathe unto me, O Lord, the breath of life, so that my spirit would be whole and my soul made right. Right?
Yep.
That all of that, like, but who told me my spirit wasn't whole? Who said my soul wasn't right from the beginning?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was looking for the peace. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And in the presence of God is the fullness of joy, right? But I have all these diagnoses. So are my diagnoses stronger than God? Or is this complete and utter bullshit that I've been believing in? And it really clicked for me when I went to have a conversation with my pastor's wife. And I was trying to um explain to her like what I was going through, and she basically told me she didn't give a fuck. She said, well, I hope you find somebody to talk to about that. So then I started, like, I felt rejected by her, like, okay, she's not here for that. She's not gonna help me. She ain't trying to hear nothing that I'm saying. So I went and started looking for Christian counselors, right? I'm looking for Christian counselors, and all the ones that I get, for some reason, were telling me, "Oh, we only talk to children." Yeah,
What? That's weird.
yeah. I was expressly looking for a Christian therapist, and the ones that I talked to several of them, and they told me that they only deal with children, which tells me that this is the backup crew for indoctrination.
Yep.
I realized that I was never going to find that peace. I was never going to find that stillness. I was never going to find that joy. I used to go to church and then go home after church and cry my eyes out. Like I was the one that wanted to stay at church as long as possible, because here I feel this. I feel this community. I feel love. I feel the joy. I feel the peace. I feel all that. And when I go home, it's empty, because they discourage you from self-discovery. They discourage you from introspection. They take away the love that you have for yourself and direct you to have that love pointing towards God. So I naturally just didn't have that, because I like to say, I was the baby that was crying while the pastor was preaching. That was me. This is how I was raised from the beginning. So that part of like the self-love was never inspired or nurtured in me. And then I was in an abusive household where, my abuser would tell me every day, clockwork every day, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're stupid. These are two things that this man always said to me, right? And so I believed those things. But then when I woke up, baby, I been fine from birth. You hear me? But like, so then I understand, like, you can do this and you can actually break the spirit of a child, because there were years where I was non-vocal. And so for me, being vocal now is a thing, because I remember being non-vocal where I didn't speak unless I was addressed or I had to speak about something, but I never talked about how I felt. I never said what was on my mind. I never complained about anything. Head down, do what you're told to do, and that's the end, because my goal was to try to avoid being harmed and by external factors, and then avoid the internal guilt for not obeying or following God's word. And once I
Yes.
stop tormenting myself with this shit, I feel much better. Once I stopped tormenting myself
About
and then
how old
sought
were
medical
you?
care, it took a while. I'm only 10 years clean, 35.
That's about how long I've been too. Somewhere between 8 and 10 years, because I don't really remember exactly. It was kind of a little process for me when I stopped going to church, and then I was like, okay, I don't think I believe anymore, type of thing. But it took a while for me to admit that, you know. And so, um, how about you, Fox?
So I would say 2013 is when I finally realized it, because when my mom passed away, uh, they say when two or more gather, miracles happen, whatever, Jesus is in the midst, whatever the fuck that is. And so the doctors had said, when she was laying in the hospital bed, she was gone. So by the time I got there, because I had to come from Texas, by the time I got there, she was gone, is what the doctor said. Then miraculously, because everybody was praying around her, she came back to life. And she was able to be responsive and everything like that. And my problem was that except one of my sisters, but my other sisters and brothers and my auntie, they were trying to do things to keep her alive, because it was like, well, God said, we got to do this, we got to do this. But my mom is saying, just let me go, because she was in pain, like in the hospital bed, because cancer was eating her a lot. This was the second time she went in remission. The first time, this is the second time. She's just like, I'm done. And we prayed around her, we sung around her, and everything. But then she still passed away. And so now I'm questioning, like, what if you told them to do all these things to her, remove half her liver, do all these things, and she still didn't live? What are you here for? And then I deployed, so I didn't get to mourn my mom. I had to deploy. So right after her funeral, maybe a couple weeks after her funeral, I had to go to Afghanistan. And still not going through everything, I went to church out there, and I was part of the choir. Yes, I was part of the choir. And I thought that, being part of there, my life would get better. But it got worse. My sister was acting the fool with my son. She wanted ransom in order for me to have him sent to his friend's house. And ransom, I mean, she telling me, I'm not sending your son to your friend's house until you give me $5,000. Yes, so that's a different story for a different day. And so, like, even though I was going to church and I was praying about, I was like, God, what did I do so bad? Like, that you keep punishing me. I'm over here. I can't. My son is being tortured because she's locking him in closets, and now you, well, not locking him in closets, but he's running the closets because he's afraid, and he's going through all these traumatic things over there, hitting himself in the head with a guitar and stuff like that, and then I think the last straw was you took his phone. I'm in Afghanistan, and you took my son's phone. You took his phone. So
No.
what if I tried to call him. Maybe that was my last day to ever speak to him. Now I can't speak to him because you took his phone. I don't care what his grades are. You're not taking his phone. That is my means to communicate with my son. So, like, all those things, and I'm, like, praying, like, God, help me, help me, help me. And it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And when I got back home, my dad unalived from cancer.
Oh,
And I was like,
God.
you know what, God? I'm over you now. I'm over you. I'm so over you. You just don't know how over I am of you. Because you told me to pray for it. I did everything right. I was on straight and narrow. I talked to all your prophets. I did everything I was supposed to do. But you didn't do anything for me. You're not there anymore. And so throughout the process, it was hard to break it. It was hard to break, like, to still, because I still believed in the saints. I never let the saints go.
Mm-hmm.
And it was still hard to break it. And still now, I'm still deconstructing, because sometimes I do turn around and be like, oh, St. Anthony, can you help me find my keys? And then I realize, like, all right, let me go trace my steps again and see where I left my keys. I do that because it's so indoctrinated in me from just being in the Catholic Church that is all part of the indoctrination. It's all part of deconstructing everything. And so that's where I'm at right now. And so I'll never say I've completely deconstructed from everything, because I haven't. I know who I am now. I know I'm aware, and I catch myself at some points, but there's still things that the churches have taught me to be like towards women, towards people, that I still have to sometimes catch myself. And that's like another reason I went into psychology to get this degree, is because I love studying the mind, and I need to know me before I can help anybody else. And I want to help people get away from this, of all this
Yes.
conditioning. Yeah,
I
so.
love it that you're going into that too, because as a person with mental illness, I have major depressive disorder and anxiety disorder and basically bipolar disorder. ADHD, autism, like, just, I have it. So, but the hardest thing for me is I want to go to talk therapy, but I don't want a religious therapist. And that is hard to find. Yes, I know there are sources now, so you don't have to give them to me because I found them now. But for one, CrystalJae.com lets you do that. Find a secular therapist now. So if anybody else is looking for one, but it was hard for while I was deconstructing. I did find one, luckily. During COVID, I was really lucky that I found a therapist who was in Australia. I found her on Reddit, and she was doing in that slave labor subreddit where people will do stuff really cheap, even though they're professionals, And during COVID, she wanted to help people out because she knew a lot of people were really suffering and couldn't go see their therapist. So she took me on and she was amazing. But unfortunately,
That's so cool.
I can't keep, she needs to make real money now and not do that for me for cheap anymore. And so I need to go find myself a therapist that takes my insurance and everything out here now. But she was a lifesaver for that. But the site is psychologytoday.com, but there's other ones too, like, gosh, I can't remember. Fee always gives them out, and I can't think of their names right now. You know what, Eli? If you DM me later, I will pull them up because I think I have them on the Discord, and I can send them over to you. Because there's a couple good sites for looking for secular therapy. It might even be seculartherapy.com. I don't know. I just remember there's a couple of really good ones that you can find secular therapists now. But I don't want to go, one time I went to a doctor recently, and I'm trying to lose weight. I want to lose weight. I want to lose it healthy. I would love to go on like Monjourno or something like that, but my insurance isn't going to cover that because I don't have like diabetes or anything. So I was like, okay, look. They always tell you if you're going to lose weight, talk to your doctor first, make sure you check with them and everything, right? So I go to the doctor and she goes, okay, so what are your eating habits? And I said, well, I don't really eat a lot, but what I eat is really shitty food. It's not good for me. It has empty calories, like, a sandwich and some chips for lunch or something. That's not really heavily nutritious. Do I eat 4 sandwiches? No, I eat a sandwich and some chips. But those are empty calories, you know what I'm saying? And I like sugar, so I have this horrible addiction to sugar. I could sit down and eat like cookies all day if you let me. So I can't even keep them in the house because I love cookies. So I'm trying to tell her this, and she's like, well, first she's Catholic, so she starts telling me like some Christian nonsense. But when I was not having the Christian nonsense, then she was just, well, just eat half of what you're eating. That's your whole, like, I came to the doctor to lose weight to be told eat half of what I'm eating. That's it. Or pray. Those were my 2 choices. And so then at that day I was like, now I don't want a Christian doctor either because they are just stupid. Like that's literally what I thought after that. I was like, you gave me pray or eat half of what I'm eating. Instead of telling me here's a nutritional guideline and here's how much you should be walking each day or you should be moving your butt.
Give your whole plan.
Right?
What
Give
the
me
hell?
some kind of plan. What the hell was that? So then it made me start thinking about my psychiatrist. I was like, oh, I don't want a psychiatrist like that either because here I'll be wanting to know what's going on with me and he's going to think there's demons or something around me. And I don't want a psychiatrist who believes in some spiritual realm fighting over me, right? So, it's hard. And I'm glad when I see people like you going into the field, I'm like, yay, it's more people to help. Like, we need it.
Yeah.
So,
Quan's
what
going to be my first
you...
patient.
So, what made y'all decide to start creating content?
Oh,
Quan did that for me because we were talking about mental health and she was like, you should just do the mental health wise. And I was like, that sounds cool. And so Quan and Fun, they encouraged me to do it by just talking to me because I'm not a big talker, if you could see. Not a very big talker. I listen a lot, and then I like to hear what people saying and then go in on them. But Quan and Fun did that for me.
That's cool.
Those 2 did it.
What about you, Quan?
meeting people. Just meeting people and talking to them and like agreeing with them and feeling free to be myself. Everybody thinks I'm funny, you know.
You are. You are.
Just laughing and just the desire to enjoy myself and have a community. That's it. But then like my content or the lives or the little funny shit that I do, I get something from that when people respond, and I like the way that feels because it's validating. Do I need that validation to be secure in who I am? No, but that doesn't take away the fact that it feels good when people laugh at your jokes, right? Like I did, the she bears where the
Yes.
fall down the she bears, like AI Alive. I've been playing with it recently, so putting that and then putting that song, it's just a bare necessities.
I know.
Right? You know, that's funny. That's funny as shit. And the bear's like chomping down.
It was so funny.
But people enjoying content like that. It's just, or the Quan commercials.
Your commercials are hilarious. Oh my God.
Oh, thank you. It's just motivation to keep going because, you know, we got enough shit to deal with on our own. Everybody going through something. And if you can find something that just makes you laugh, something lighthearted, that content that you don't normally see, right? Content that you don't normally come across because so many people are aligned to some spiritual belief or another. But the content saying like, fuck that spiritual belief. It's absurd, and I'm gonna show you why it's absurd, and I'm gonna make you laugh at the same time. Like that's helping people. Even people who are in the process of deconstructing, they get something out of that. And that's good. It's like community service. I'm helping the community. Right? You are sane. You are valid. What you understand about Christianity as a deconstructed person or a deconstructing person is true. This God is abhorrent, inhumane, utterly disgusting. You were tricked into aligning with it. Realize that, recognize that. Now let me show you the absurdity. This guy called some she bears down to unalive 42 children for saying that he was bald headed, and he was bald headed.
Right?
Isn't that absurd? Why would God grant a request like that? A God that would grant a request like that on some children is sick. Like y'all know, if you want to know the truth, everybody knows this. Come on, please. Ask a child how you look in this outfit today. They're gonna tell your ass the truth. Now you brace yourself and be prepared if you know you look at a mess. If your shoes is leaning, the rest of your outfit is good. That child gonna start at them shoes first and look you up and say, when they get to your eyes, they're gonna say, "You look cute, but your shoes are leaning." Fox's baby ran my dog down to the ground. When she first saw him, she said, "That's a scruffy looking dog. I can't be mad. He needed a haircut."
That's so funny.
Sometimes you just need the truth right up in your face. And if it's funny at the same time, then you're having a better day. And I like that.
What she say about your Quan commercials?
Okay. Oh, she gave me some tips. She said I needed to add a little more, to it. I need to be a little bit more animated. Like she critiqued Fox's baby critiqued my choir commercials. And I was like,
That
okay,
is
so
so
this is
funny.
good, but you need to add a little this and a little that and tweak it. And we started doing some voice acting together, and she got my life together. Listen to it.
She's your producer.
And
Hey,
her stepdaughter
Tommy
now.
J. Birthday
Hello,
twin.
beautiful people. Our birthdays are coming up, Crystal. That is
I
so
know.
fun.
I'm so excited.
Okay, I have my question for the panel, this lovely, lovely panel. I didn't know they were going live today. Nobody told me.
I did.
You know the way they set me up, Crystal? They wanted me to not
Mm-hmm.
come so that they could be like, and you didn't even show up when your baby was
Oh,
on CrystalJae.
There would have been a whole different court. We're
Yeah.
gonna get subpoena in the court again.
Tommy J, I sent you an invite.
Hmm.
Let the records reflect that an invitation was sent to him.
I don't know. I didn't see the invite, but I think she did.
See how they agree with her? Like, Quan can say anything.
They don't
They're
even
like,
know.
yep,
They're
yeah.
like,
They were like,
she
yeah,
said she did.
I'm pretty sure she did. Okay, I have my question for the panel, and it is, who is your favorite? Oh, and I had to stop doing this because you know how we don't say male and female, right? But in the music, like when we categorize stuff, they be like best male vocalist, best female vocalist.
Oh
So
Yeah.
I'm
man.
like, we got to change that too. So what's your favorite man vocalist, and what's your favorite woman vocalist?
Quan, you can go first. I got to think about this one.
vocalist. So now I'm thinking of skill. I'm not even thinking about um, genre. I'm just thinking about the voice and the command that they have over it. Other things do other things do come into play. But as far as like male vocalists, top top tier, underrated as hell, underrated as hell because a little his music is a little different. Fucking Bilal. They, Bilal is the secular Daryl Coley. And if you know like how Daryl Coley's voice is, he gives. Um, as far as women vocalists, there's so many other factors there. So I'm right now. I'm just thinking of artists, but whose voice do I absolutely adore? Jasmine fucking Sullivan. Jasmine Sullivan is a cold piece of work. I bust the windows out your car. Like, come on now.
Okay, we could ride across the road together. I like your music. I like the music. I'm cool. I'm here for it. Okay.
Yeah, Jasmine Sullivan is cold work and also underrated. But as far as vocalists is going, like she eats every day. Her rhymes is always on point.
You
Her
think people kind of get it now that like she's like kind of like pushing it? Like when you think about like vocalists,
how could they ever miss it?
yeah, I think they get it now. I think it took them a minute. That first album was a little ratchet for them, but she can sing anything, you know, and she
Here's
showed
why.
it on her live performances. I think eventually they get it.
Jasmine Sullivan was a little too thick for for popular music.
Especially back when she came out too.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at the cover art for Hotels, that's a different body. And people are marginalized because of their body size. There you go, intersectionality. It's a black woman who's overweight, right? She's going to get less love and attention than a black woman who is, quote, fit or skinny because she's overweight. Like, let me show you this book.
Or like even like India Ari not trying to be so sexy for everybody.
Hmm.
You get like like you get put into this little tiny little spot
Yeah.
in the entertainment industry, and it's like you got to stay here.
Yep.
Who that? What's her name again? Gabrielle. I love her.
Gabby Sidibe.
Yes,
So,
it
so they,
God, she's
Tell
so
yeah, you never
pretty.
say her last name.
Tell me she's not an amazing actress.
Oh, phenomenal!
Oh,
Because I
she
wouldn't have made it
is.
through
Yeah.
some bullshit like
Fuck out of
Precious.
that role.
She acted out of that crazy script.
Yeah, but you know why she doesn't get as much attention or accolade for
Because of Precious.
because she's a dark skinned black woman who's overweight.
Yep.
Yeah, because of that movie too.
Well, that's the thing. She's a dark skinned black woman who's overweight. Even if she could play that role and been a light skin, even she could have even been black. But if she was white, automatic award, automatic Oscar. But because she's a
Yeah.
dark skinned black woman who's overweight, her work is going to be, less regarded as phenomenal.
Okay, babe.
Let me go get my cookies out the oven. Huh?
Babe. Oh, go get your cookies.
I put
I
4
want.
cookies in the onion.
Let me
Hello,
see
how
them. I
y'all
want to see
doing?
them. Put your cookies on the
I
camera.
love cookies.
You want to
Oh
my
my
cookies?
God! Please don't put your
I do
cookies on the
too. I
camera.
love cookies.
Put your cookies on the camera. I'll give you $1,000.
I love cookies too, but we don't want to see Quan's cookies on the camera. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Not see that. All right.
Quan, have you ever heard Jasmine Sullivan sing Baltimore?
No.
oh, yes. On the Anina Simone tribute album.
Yes, KK. She already hit. Okay, Fox. I need your artist.
See, Tommy. See, this is a hard question for me because I listen to music different than y'all listen to it, right? So I don't really pick artists. I pick the contents of the words where I could dance from. Those look good. Um,
Ooh.
so it's ooh pecan. I like them.
And
Chocolate
caramel.
chip pecan or just and
Chocolate
caramel.
chip
Okay.
and caramel.
See, my daughter would have got mad at you about the chocolate chips. She don't like chocolate chips.
You
She don't
don't?
like chocolate. She don't like chocolate at all. She won't eat chocolate.
I like chocolate chip cookies with no chocolate chips.
Yeah, that's what she did. She took all the chocolate
Cookie.
chips and made chocolate chip cookies
I,
without
That's
I
chocolate
would
chips.
have.
good.
Just say you
I
like
would have
sugar.
taken
So-
all
I
the.
don't know why you gotta do all this.
I would have
So-
taken all the
so
other
for-
pecans off.
What?
Yeah, I don't like
man.
pecans. I don't like pecans.
Hurting my feelings over here. So
I'm sorry.
for me, I see it. I see it different because it's almost like the way I pick songs. So I don't have a favorite artist. I hear what they're singing, and I interpret their singing through my dance. So I don't like vocal range is okay. I like vocal range.
So
But,
you want me to rephrase it? Favorite
Yeah,
to
it
listen.
still would.
Favorite to listen to.
It still wouldn't matter because it would be. I don't have one. I really don't have one.
It's just like whatever you need for that moment.
Yeah, what I need for the moment. They are the artist is how I'm feeling. So I put a lot of my emotions and feelings into what they're saying. If I can relate to it, so like you'll see, even in my dance class, you'll see me fumbling with my phone before my class even start because at the moment when I'm doing my songs, when I'm doing my song list for the class, I'll be sitting at my kitchen table and I'll dance through all the songs. And by the time I get to class, I'm not feeling the same way I was feeling at the table in my house. And that's like a 15-minute drive. Between a 15-minute span, I changed 5 songs. And that's just how, like, I go by a lot of emotions in songs. Even when I think I remember playing spades at my sister's house when I was younger. And we were always listening. I'm all old school kind of stuff. And so we was listening to Lenny Williams. What is Lenny?
Oh.
Lenny? Girl, you know I love you. That one.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he started singing, because of the vibe in the house, everybody just put the spades down, the cards, everybody cards face down, and everybody was just singing in the house. And it was just like, and the TV went off, and everybody was going, and my cousin Dion was on his knees, and it was just like, and I'm sitting there just dancing to it because now I'm feeling what they're feeling, and I mimic their feelings, if that makes sense. So that's
So you're an
why I don't have
you're an
favorite.
emotional listener
Yeah,
when
I
it comes to
am
music.
very much so. Yes.
Totally. Well, okay, then I'm gonna change my question just so I can still get some kind of answer out of you. I love that answer though, Fox. I like that you look at music differently than
Yeah.
us. Gives me some range to like where music can exist and how it can affect people. What's the last album that you bought? Physical copy.
And you talking years ago now, Tommy. Um,
Hey, baby.
the last one I physically bought. Y'all get off me. Don't say nothing. I don't want to hear nobody say a thing. It was 2 that I physically bought, and it was only because of one song on the album. Matter of fact, I didn't buy this one. Somebody who had a crush on me gave it to me. It was Faith Evans, the one where she says, I love you, you're the one that I live for. That one.
Not
Aaliyah,
that far ago.
Aaliyah's last album. I bought hers because I have all of her albums. And Avril Lavigne, first album, Skater Boy.
I can listen to all 3 of those, Fox. Love it.
Love your taste.
And Vanessa Carlson, yeah. Vanessa Carlson. Yes. No words.
I love
Just
your
let it
taste
go.
in music for
There we go.
real because it's very eclectic.
Thank you. Oh, and Evanescence. First album.
Ah!
I listened to that one all the way through. And I'll listen to it again and again. It's just the vibe that she brings when I'm kickboxing. So yeah.
Okay, well, that's all the questions that I have for you guys. Crystal, you wanna share with us?
Okay,
before I
do you
hop
want to know
in?
the last album I bought, or do you want to know my
Whichever you want to
favorite
answer.
vocalist? Okay, I'll, do they have to be alive? Because alive
Nope.
is different
Nope.
than, okay. Now we're talking about a whole different thing here.
The
My
Old
favorite
Testament. Now we talk about the
vocalist,
Old Testament.
my favorite vocalist, and I already told you this, Tommy J. I love Al Jarreau. He had a great voice. He had a great
Right.
vocal range. And I still will always love listening to him scat. And I don't know. I
We
loved
did
Al
talk about
Jarreau.
that.
Yeah, I'm a weirdo. But I also like Andrea Bocelli. If I hear something like, I just have to hear his voice and immediately I'm like, oh my God. It's like caramel or something. It's sweet and buttery and delicious. I love Andrea Bocelli's voice too. But the last album I bought a physical copy of was Willie Nelson because he recorded that song and it made me so proud of him. He does so many things against the country grain, which I like when he does stuff like that. And so he did that song that cowboys are frequently fond of each other. I don't know if you've heard that song or not, but it's a really, really good song. If you haven't,
I'm gonna have to go check it out.
yeah. Willie Nelson, cowboys are frequently fond of each other. Very good song. Hi,
That's
KK. How are
cool.
you?
All right, y'all. Well,
Hello,
y'all
how are
continue.
you?
I gotta jump down, but y'all continue to have a lovely, lovely interview. I have enjoyed thoroughly listening to my baby voice. Thank you for having them on. And Fox and Crystal, you're always lovely. Hey, KK.
Tommy, you can stay up
Hi,
here if you
Tommy.
want. Pretty soon we're gonna play our favorite game, so you can stay up
Okay,
here if
I'm
you
gonna mute
want.
up.
Okay. Hey KK, what do you have for us tonight?
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm doing pretty good. So you guys were talking about music stuff and our favorite artists and stuff.
Hmm.
So I have a lot of them. So I would like to do a top 5 if you don't mind.
You go right ahead.
The first one is Ella Fitzgerald. I'm a jazz head.
I love jazz.
Layla Hathaway. Donnie Hathaway's daughter. I Was a Lamb, so Mariah Carey. I love of course I love me some on the rock side of things, Evanescence.
Yeah, it's given.
Yeah.
She's a part of the Isley brothers descendant, so Alex Isley. Love her. And my
Yeah.
last one is it has to be The Carpenters for me.
The
Okay.
Carpenters?
I love the Carpenters. Like, I don't care. I know they're old. I know they're old fashioned, and I know she's long been gone, but they were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. You know when I got into the Carpenters? When I took my first psychology class, and we talked about bulimia and anorexia.
Oh.
And that's when I was like, I need to listen to them. And when I heard her, and I saw one of the videos where she was in that tan dress. Yeah, y'all remember the one she was standing? She was, what song was that? I can't even think what song it was now. But I was like, okay, she has a beautiful voice. Yeah.
Was it, I'm on the top of the world looking.
Yep, that was it. That's that. Yeah, that's
was
it.
a great
That's
song.
it. That's it. Yeah. That's it right
That was
there.
a great song. I used to always sing one of her songs to my kids. That is why all the girls in town
Ooh.
follow you all around, just like me. They long to be close to you. She sounds like Gloria Estefan if you listen to her carefully.
Yeah.
It is very weird. Like the first time somebody told me that, I was like, no, there's no way. But then I listened to both of them. I was like, oh, wow, they sound very much alike. It's really wild. But yes, Karen Carpenter was amazing. Amazing voice. That was
Yeah.
a good one, KK.
And an honorable mention, I would like to do a couple. Eldro, I love Eldro too.
Yes.
And another favorite of mine, Samara Joy. I know she's young, but
Oh my God, she can do no wrong. People be talking about Cynthia Erivo. I'll be like, okay, but some Miss Joy. Oh
yeah.
my God.
I saw her in concert last year, and I wanted to go again. I did not want that night to end.
Oh, that's another good question. Who have you seen in concert that just was like amazing? Like, who is your favorite in concert that people might not
Jacob
even know
Collier.
they're that good?
Beyonce.
Lucky
Beyonce?
you. I didn't get to
I'll
see
bet.
her yet.
I
I
haven't
saw
either.
Melanie Martinez, and she did a really good show, even though she's in all sorts of trouble now. But her show was really good. Melanie Martinez. I saw Machine Gun Kelly and Rick Ross when they first came out. I seen Future, and that show was sucked. But that was when he was first. He first came out. He first came out, and it was a concert in the park. But I did get to see Keith Sweat and Jagged Edge and all of them when I was younger, and that was a pretty good concert with Jesse Powell and all of them. I got to see that one. That was good.
Okay, you guys. Weird Al Yankovic is really good in concert. Okay, I just need you guys to know that I'm not joking. Okay. If you've ever enjoyed Weird Al Yankovic and he's ever near you and he's in concert, I'm telling you, you'll have the time of your life. He puts on the best show for the money. He does full costume changes, and it's amazing. Like, it's actually really fun. It's a great show to go to. But I also like seeing Styx in concert. They do a really good show too, and I like all that. I like old Styx. They had some good music back in the day. Come sail away, come sail away.
You know which one I recently got to go see? I recently got to go see at the casino, Moore's Day in the Time.
Ooh.
And I was
I'm so
super
jealous.
duper happy and excited. I got
Oh
to get
my
on stage and do
God.
the bird. Yo, I got to go get on stage and do the bird. Yes.
I am so jealous. Oh my God.
Fox,
Oh.
one time I was backstage at a Morris concert, and he was doing his change. You know how he does his outfit change, right? And then he comes back out with the suit, the other suit on, and when he was like getting ready to come back out, he was like looking at me like why, like, I don't know. His face said like, who is that? Like, why is he over there? And a few people was just like trying to figure out, who am I? Why am I backstage? Like, who is this little nigga that we don't know? And so he was like, he instead of going, he usually goes down the second wing, And so that's why I was standing in the third wing. They were like, you got to get out of this wing. So I'm standing in the third wing. That's the wing all the way to the back of the stage. And instead of going his usual route, he goes through the third wing. And when he walks past me, he like what do you call that? Like not snarl, but he just like almost like looked me up and down like watch me do
Oh my
watch how I do this. But I'm such a fan. Yeah, I'm such a fan. I'm all like, oh my God. Morris just looked at me crazy, y'all.
He gave you that look he gave Prince in Purple Rain.
Exactly. I was like,
my
what?
God. Listen, KK is saying in chat, Al DeBarge and Jasmine Sullivan, you saw them together and you met Shaka Khan.
Oh my
I'm jealous
gosh.
of all
I
of
am
that.
Jealous. I'm
of
straight
all
jealous now. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. She was nice. I know that people say that she's rude and stuff, but I had to see that for myself. She wasn't rude to me.
I
So
did
I'm
get to
Shaka's very
see
sweet
Shaka
in person.
Khan and Al Jarreau play together one time. Like she opened or something, and then he played. But they were together one time, and that was a great concert. Oh my God, that was so good. Yeah, Shaka Khan is another great artist. God, I love her.
So that's like what I grew up on: Shaka, Stevie, and Jackson 5. That was like my early
Oh my
introduction to music.
goodness. I love Stevie because of his lyrics. I love people that could
Yeah.
like storytell when they write lyrics.
Yeah, Stevie had great lyrics in the 80s. Like his 80s has the best music, and you cannot convince me otherwise. The 80s was the music era. I'm sorry. It's just, I love it all. You got your Whitney, you got Shaka Khan, you got Prince, you have Michael Jackson. I don't know. I love the 80s.
So
70s
got
was
your
the
great
90s
too.
had a different vibe. The 80s was like, heal the world, make it a better place. And then the 90s was like, for me, was ruined by the PDF of the 90s. But writing songs like, come and get a scoop of my ice cream, baby. Like,
Oh my God.
like,
See, no, you always talk about the slow songs. What about the fast ones? Like Herbie Hancock. Boom, 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 boom,
Yes.
boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
Yes, like the fast one. Jump on it, jam on it, jam on it. And breakdance was out too? Yes, that's the 80s that I'm looking
yeah.
for.
But
Yes.
1984.
that funk area of the 80s is a mess. You can't say nothing about the funk era.
I will never. Especially when Cameo late 80s.
Wax the word and word up.
It's like candy. Oh man.
I love
Heck
funk.
yeah.
I remember Brick House came out in the 70s, huh? Because I remember dancing to Brick House. She's a brick house. Okay,
Mm.
it was a great era. It was a great era of music. I do say the 70s fashion sucked because I had to wear them. And I'm just telling you, I don't know what we were thinking. I really don't. Like, we wore skirts. I remember doing this, and I don't know why we did this, and I don't know how we thought this was cute, but we wore skirts with full-on jeans, bell bottoms underneath the skirt. Why?
Yeah,
What
it was so
were we
cool
doing?
because it was cold out here and we did it. But that was so
I
cool.
was in
like,
California. Why am I doing?
You know my daughter do that now.
That's so
This style
funny.
is coming back, CrystalJae. All the styles are coming back. Yes, watch. My daughter did that the other when she was getting ready to go to school. She had her skirt on, but she had jeans on, and they wasn't like the tight jeans. They were bell bottoms, girl. Bell
That is
bottoms.
so funny. That is really funny. Yeah, I don't know. I always thought that the Junkos are back. I have heard that, Riptide. Those are 90s though, right? Or were those 2000s, early 2000 Junko jeans? I was a mom in the 90s into the 2000s, and that year gets confusing to me. Like, it's a blur.
I don't want them big t-shirts to come back though. Like the big clothes are cool, but the extra big, like the I bang in my white tee, need my white tee. It's like, please, can you get a large size that fit? Large, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to wear the dress with the big pants. I don't
They
know.
did
I don't want them big shirts to come out.
T-shirt dress. T-shirt dress.
Those are cool though.
Yes.
No. That's what they was wearing. Them white tees was T-shirt dress.
Yeah. Quan used to wear like the big t-shirts, big pink tees with the big jeans that like sag down, and then she had her what they call them, Jordache underwear that show right there, and you see the Jordache.
It's so crazy.
You know you better get you talking about me in the movies because I've always been I love a ballad. I love to be serenaded.
No, Quan be dressing now.
When my sister was teaching me femininity. It's a thing. I've never been like just really feminine. Like I'm kind of just like middle of the road. I'm just Quan, you know.
Yeah.
I like the Quan. I like the Quan of what I see. The Quan. The Quan. I like the Quan of what I see. The Quan. Quan came to my house. 3 snaps and 2 circles. Quan came to my house. 3 snaps and 2 circles. Right? Yeah.
Okay, so she was teaching me femininity. So like in the 90s, and you know what music we was listening to, a whole lot of R&B, right? Yeah, it was given. So when everybody was hitting those bell bottoms, I had some see-through ones with some short shorts and some black platforms. It was the platform, but with the chunky heel, blue velvet going across the toes. You know what I'm saying? With a little, it was teaching me how to feminine. Cause I just always.
That sound cute though. That sound mad cute. That's what I'm saying. That sound mad cute.
And my cousin Nate saw me and he was like, "Who you supposed to be, Lil Kim?" I felt offended. Okay, not Lil Kim.
Now you got Lil Kim was pretty though, man. Lil Kim was pretty.
Fine. FOINE.
Yes.
Auntie Jay, you do need to watch that video because that's what I was doing while I was on mute.
Hi, Annie. Thanks for joining. Okay, you guys, do you know what time it is now?
I don't want to lose, but I know what time it is.
What
Krista.
time is it?
But let's go.
It is time. I didn't have my iPad tonight, so I had to print them out for you. It is time.
Hold it. Why are you wiggling it so much? Turn it back around and hold it.
We done went old school.
We're going old school here. You guys, it's time for Divine or Decline, everybody's favorite game that I made up. And here's how it works. I'm going to read you a phrase, and then I'm going to start from the top, and I'm going to go down to the bottom, and I'm going to ask each of you to tell me if it is divine. Is it from the Bible? And I use the New American Standard Bible. Why? Because it's copyright free, and that way I can't get in trouble. Thank you. If it is from the Bible, it is divine. If it is from the Book of Mormon, the Quran, or I made it up, then it is decline. You guys, if you're a subscriber, you have special stickers. Put them in the chat right now. Show everybody the cool divine or decline stickers. If you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're doing with your life because I'm fucking adorable, okay? And I bring you the best people on my show. Look at who I have on my show right now, you guys. So I don't know what you're doing. You should be subscribed. It's less than a cup of coffee a month. Also, while we play the game, if you could help me reach my gift goal, it's just roses. They're 1 coin each. Send some up. Let's get me to 666 of those roses. Hail Satan. And are you ready, panel, for divine or decline? Okay, we're all ready? All right, here we go. I'm sorry. I don't know why I can't read lately. I just start making up words. Okay, ready? Here we go. Take 2. You foolish man, do not say you were tempted by God, for God cannot tempt nor be tempted, for he is divine. Quan.
Divine.
All right. KK, yes, you can answer in chat. Oh, KK left. Okay, Tommy.
Decline.
Okay, Fox.
I'm gonna say divine because Jesus is always calling somebody a fool, and he know he ain't supposed to.
That's right. That's what I kind of thought, and so I made that up, and that's decline.
That is good. That was never following Quan again. Good job, Tommy.
See, you know what's gonna mess you up, Quan, because you know the Bible so well, but she's reading a different translation, so it's gonna sound like Bible scriptures when it ain't.
Because I know me some King James Version. You hear me?
Yep. Okay. Number 2. Have you seen the fire you kindle? Quan?
That's it?
That's it.
Decline.
Okay, Tommy J.
That's divine.
All right, Fox.
I'm going with divine on that.
How you going to get on Tommy J's side?
That's decline. That's the Quran. That is Al-Waqid 5671.
Huh.
Okay.
Could have been the King James.
And it came to pass that the angel spake unto me, saying, Look. Quan.
Divine.
Tommy J.
Divine.
Fox.
And the angels came in. And they said, look. That's it. Look, y'all. I'm gonna go with divine because they always talking about some angels and said came down and said something to somebody.
Hey, Quan, you know what I'm hearing?
What?
Behold, there was a great earthquake. Boom.
Okay, that was decline. That was the Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 14:18.
Oh wow, that sounds like some. Oh man, I'm doing very bad tonight, but that's okay.
That
I
is
still love myself.
I got my 1 point. 1 point.
We ain't going by
Okay.
points.
Just as a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. Quan.
Divine.
Tommy J.
I didn't hear you because of fireworks, so I'm gonna go with my baby and say divine.
Period.
Okay. Fox.
I just read something like that, but I don't know if that's the exact verse. But I'm gonna say divine because we were talking about the children. I saw a verse like that.
That is divine. That is Psalms 103:13. Good job, everybody.
Go David. Go David.
All right.
Yay.
Truly
Not
I
go
say
David.
unto
Go David.
Truly I say unto you, heaven and earth will pass away, but my steadfast love for my people will endure until the last star falls from heaven. Quan.
It's mine. That star fall from heaven, ain't it?
Tommy J.
It got too astrological for me to decline.
Yeah, and decline because God don't even love his people. What you talking about?
Period.
Okay, I made that one up, and I've learned my mistake. I will never tell you he loves his people again.
That's right.
That is decline. Okay. And it came to pass that as many as were. I'm sorry, let me read this again. I don't know why I can't read sometimes. And
I'm
it
gonna
came
assume
to
you
pass
didn't write
that
this
as-
one.
I don't know. Sometimes I can't read my own writing, Tommy, so I don't know. And it came to pass that as many as were desirous, unto them it was granted according to their desires. Quan.
And it came to pass.
And it came to pass that as many as were desirous, unto them it was granted according to their desires.
It's so close. It's so close. Because there's a scripture similar to that. With the decline.
Okay, Tommy.
I'm gonna say divine. I think it's one of those ones that the translation is throwing us off.
It sounds like some shit in Acts, right? But let's go.
No, I'm gonna go with decline because that's no.
All right.
Decline.
That is decline. That's Book of Mormon, Alma 62:28.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was that threw me off. Like, because the desires, like, God don't let people talk about his desires. It would have been more like, you're gonna do what I say. Damn it. That's it. So
It's
yeah.
my desires, bitches.
Yep. That's it.
Come on, you raising your hand?
Oh, I got 4 points.
I'm crying. I'm crying. I'm crying.
Hold on.
Okay. Return to me, declares the Lord of armies, that I may return to you, says the Lord of armies. Quan.
Decline.
Tommy J.
I'm gonna try and run statistics on you and say divine.
Okay. Foxx.
How many points you got?
And I'm going with Tommy J and saying divine because he's a war god.
They wanted me to repeat it in chat, so I'm just going to repeat it and then I'll have to tell you. Return to me, declares the Lord of armies, that I may return to you, says the Lord of armies. And that is divine. That is Zechariah 1.
Thank you. Yes. He's a war god. He is a war
That's
god.
right.
He will say
That's
that.
kind of why I liked that verse. I was like, I'm going to use this one because I like it that it says armies because he is a war god. All right, here we go. Open your mouth for the people who cannot speak, for the rights of all the unfortunate. Quan. I'm sorry, what?
Divine.
Okay. Tommy J.
Hold on, no. For the rights of all the unfortunate.
Yeah.
No, you already gave your answer.
Leave me alone.
She said divine.
Can you read it again?
Yeah. Open your mouth for the people who cannot speak, for the rights of all the unfortunate.
Decline.
Okay, Tommy J.
Decline.
Foxx.
Decline. That is just
That's actually divine, and I think everybody should know that verse. So when they're facing Christians during these protests, you can tell them to fuck off. Proverbs 31:8 says that we're to open our mouth for the people who cannot speak. And we are supposed to fight for the rights of the unfortunate. It's in the Bible, bitches. Okay, it's divine. Okay.
Go on, CrystalJae.
I can learn your Bible.
shocked.
Okay. When the two groups sighted each other, the followers of Moses said, "We are being overtaken." Quan.
Decline. I'm declining
Tommy
everything.
J.
Divine.
Foxx.
I gotta decline. That was a good one. Can you read that one more time?
Yeah, when the two groups sided each other, the followers of Moses said, "We are being overtaken."
Oh, decline. God's not gonna let that
Yeah,
happen to them people, especially Moses.
that
Because it
is
was
decline.
Moses
That's from the Quran, and that's Ash Shurar. I never can read these words. I'm sorry. Shu'ara 2661. So that is decline. And here we are, number 10. It's for all the marbles. Here it is, you guys. Y'all ready? All right. This wretched man cried out, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. Quan.
Divine, Savior, divine.
What did
Divine.
you say, Doug? Okay, and Tommy, what'd you say?
Divine.
Divine and Fox.
Man, the Lord don't be saving nobody, but I don't know the Bible like that, so I'll go divine.
You guys,
Divine.
that was divine. Good job, Doug. You suck. You got it wrong.
You're divine. Now hear me while I say, take all my guilt away. Oh, let me from this day be holy. Hallelujah. Is gaslight in here?
You know what?
I
I
believe
thought
so.
that's
Yeah,
like wasn't.
you're gaslighting us. Yeah, you're gaslighting us.
How did you do that? Thank you. I wasn't gaslighting anybody. I won. Can I get my celebration song on Fox? She said it was for all the marbles.
It was for all the marbles. For
I'm the winner of Divine and Decline. Ah, yes, people, it's me. I have come.
No, she was talking about the marbles that you still have in your head because you lost a couple while you was talking. I love you.
I don't hear nothing.
Okay, so I need to know now. When are you guys live again? Everybody, tell me. You tell me too.
So go ahead, Quan. All the time, every day of the
When are
week.
we live again? Well, Fox, you going live tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Fox is
I
going.
go live on. I do all-nighters on Saturday.
All right.
Normally it's after my Quan goes and Petty goes. But I go after they do, or if Borg goes, I go after them. But I do Saturday nights all-nighters. I do Saturday nights all-nighters. And sometimes I do on Tuesday, Mondays and Thursdays, I do step up dance class, workouts. And that is the live workouts that I do for people who wants to do the step aerobics plus dancing. And that is at 6 o'clock Central on Mondays and Thursdays, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock Central.
Oh,
And
that's
what I do.
cool.
And then on Wednesdays, I normally go, or Thursdays right after class, I go live again, and then we do lives on deconstructing.
And Quan, what about you?
You know, our schedules be like, we try to stack. So
Yeah.
I typically do like afternoon lives, but I'm here. If you can't find Fox, if you can't find Board, if you can't find Petty, if you can't find Sandra, if you can't find Fun, you can find me. Because one of us are always live. It's just how it is. Because it's continuing. We're gonna continue having these conversations, and for Fox as well as myself, we're dealing with how you think about these things, right?
I love that.
I start doing the ones about because I have an agenda to flip that sympathy, compassion switch. I'm trying to flip that because it's there, but it's just dormant because they've been convinced to justify the most inhumane thing. So, like, they think, oh, well, you're cherry picking. No, I'm not cherry picking. This guy mentions in this scripture multiple times, or he's promising to make people eat their children. Right? This God doesn't care if you have sustenance, food and water. He brought these people out of enslavement into the wilderness and got mad at them because they were complaining that they were hungry and punished them.
Right?
Come on now.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing? Well, they shouldn't have been complaining. They would. So if you're hungry, you're not going to say I'm hungry. Well, they wanted to go back into slavery because they actually had food when they were enslaved in this book.
Yeah, and every time somebody defends that, I know, like, I don't know, like, if they realize when they're defending it or not, but it's real evident that they've never been hungry. Like,
Yeah.
you might have missed a meal before in your life. You might have wished you had dessert, but you've never been hungry because
Right.
you don't know hungry. Okay, you don't know it. And to sit there and say that they should be punished because they were starving, walking around in a desert. Oh my God, with children and elderly. And like, I'm glad you're working on that empathy because they need it. They need it. There's
Yeah.
something not right there.
Yeah.
We were,
And I
when we
understand
were,
I have been hungry. Like my stepmom intentionally, when I moved from my mother and stepfather's house to my father and stepmother's house, she intentionally did not feed me. I
So
had
is
to
it?
learn skills to find out how to get money so I can go get money to feed myself. And my dad was an addict, so he wasn't thinking about none of that because he'd rather go do what he was doing, you know, than be concerned about his child. And she detested me. So I know what hunger feels like. And then to say
yeah,
that somebody should be punished for complaining about that, that's wild
I
work.
hate that.
that is. And
But
every
you'll
time
see, Chris.
I read the Bible again, like I hear a new story of something just abhorrent that is done in that book, and I think like, how did I miss this? When I was a Christian and I read it, like I don't get how I missed all this shit, other than the indoctrination and the apologetics and the lies.
Yeah.
You
That's some
know,
God goggles.
Yeah. It's a God. Oh, new one. So,
You can find the
but
most
you'll see.
Bible possible. Have you heard about horrific things that happen and you don't believe it? It might be because you've been wearing God goggles. Put them on anytime you want to read the book of whatever. I don't know.
So cool. So cool. But you'll see it's intentional that our lives will always merge into each other, but we cover the encompass the whole big picture of, like, if we talk about compassion or empathy, you're going to see us talking about it because it's going to merge into whatever they talking about. Like right now, Quan is
yeah,
on the limitations of of thinking, cognition. Before we was talking about identity, and then that merges into cognition and your limited thought, limitation of thought. So, and then you'll see, even with talking about eating the babies that Quan had, and that goes into identities because now you're looking at everybody's demon possessed. Now let's talk about this identity thing that you got going on, or let's talk about this. So you'll see, like, if Quan's doing one, mine's is gonna turn around, or hers is gonna turn around, and it's gonna be talking about the same topic but adding on to each other. So we build off of each other all the time. That's the type of community we have. Petty builds off of us, we build off of Petty.
yeah.
And then fun, we build off. Yeah, if you notice that, that's what we do. We always
I
building
love
off
that.
of each other.
I really love that. And I also love that sometimes, like, I just pop in and you guys are just cracking up. And I just feel like I walked in to a room and these best friends are just sitting around. And I'm like, this is so cool. They're just all laughing, having a great time. And I don't know. It's a really good atmosphere. It's like I learned so much from you guys, but also, like, I just get so much joy from being around you guys.
It's
You
Quan's
guys are
fault.
like
It's
really
Quan's
cool.
fault.
Why you gotta
It's
blame
Quan's fault. Because you always say something and everybody started busting out, then everybody starts saying something, or it's fun say something and everybody started busting out, or Tay is say the punch down joke. So
Well,
it's a joke.
at least I'm not a historian.
So you want to hear the Tay? Can Tay come up here and tell her joke,
Oh,
please,
take
Crystal?
Yeah, Tay, come on up here. I'm gonna.
Tay, come up and tell her. I can't
all-
tell. I went to bed laughing at that one.
First of all, these people are hiding. Okay? They're hiding because I just so happen to be the shortest one out of the group, standing at 5'1". Okay, so I just want to say that. But you know, I'm a real boy. Go ahead, Tay.
All right, so I asked if telling short jokes about Quan would be punching down.
You don't get it.
Did you hear that, Crystal?
No, I didn't hear it.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me better?
Wait. I can hear you better now. Go ahead.
Okay, I asked if telling short jokes about Quan would be considered punching down.
Oh my God. But Quan, why aren't you laughing?
She doesn't enjoy the
Because
short.
I'm the shortest one in the group. And so I have pictures with everybody, and I'm constantly saying, like, I'm taller than this person. I'm taller than that. I'm taller than no one. Here, let me show you.
She's taller in her dreams.
How tall are you?
5'1".
That's how tall all my daughters are. So, like, I have 2 daughters and a daughter-in-law, and they're all about 5'1". So, I'm just used to that.
You know when they be like, you remember that one shorty? They talking about Quan.
Oh, okay.
So that's Fun up top, taller than me. That's Sandra. Why is Sandra laying her head on top of my forehead? I don't know. That's Tay. The We Don't Give a Fuck. There's a story behind it. Never mind that. And that's me and Foxx. Foxx is taller than me. And then those pictures at the bottom are pictures of my fur babies being traitors because they love them all. Yeah.
So,
They're total traitors.
Oh my God.
so I think I need another picture with Quan because she cheated that day.
Oh, when you coming up?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, whenever you want to come up, you come up.
I'll let you
Yeah,
know.
no platforms this time. No platforms this time, Quan. Quan were platforms to meet Tay, Crystal.
Oh.
I didn't do it on purpose.
They just
Oh,
went with the outfit.
You know what I'm saying? Why can't it be matching? What's wrong with
I
matching?
know my baby be looking good. Shit.
I don't coordinate.
I remember when my daughter was like, I don't know, maybe 13 years old or whatever. We were out shopping for shoes and she brought over some heels, like 4-inch heels. And she was like, Mom, can I get these? I'm like, I'll tell you what, if you can walk in them, you can get them. She fucking walked like she was on the runway. She was a pro 10 seconds in. You know, I was like, all right, I'm stuck by you. But, you know, she loved them and she's short, so she likes wearing heels. She likes to wear the tall heels.
Let me explain to you something else we do. So we haven't been doing much of it, but we're going to get back because my job schedule. We have a book club where we read books as thick as this.
Ooh, what are you reading?
Well, our current book, look at that. So we actually read this book, and this is Combi, about the river raid. Where was it? The Combahee River Raid with Harriet Tubman, who came from the north, went to the south to work with the Union Army and got the information as to where the torpedoes were in the water from the natives because they wouldn't talk to other people. They didn't trust them. And she located those torpedoes, told the army, and they were able to navigate and come ashore to do the Combahee River raid. Not only that,
Wow.
very industrious. And so she started businesses and she started teaching the women how to be industrious themselves by teaching them how to do things like start a laundry business. So they would get the soldiers' clothing and wash and iron them and return them for a fee. Also, baking goods and selling them to the soldiers to help take care of the people in the community. We've read a lot of books. We started reading a little over a year ago, and we just within the last like 2 months or whatever, we hit a law, but we're going to get right back into it. I'm actually sitting in front of my bookshelf with, don't judge what I have sitting up here on my bookshelf. Okay? You judge me,
Okay, I won't. I won't judge you.
you anti-literacy.
You can't judge
Okay.
me. I'm not anti-literacy. I
I don't-
have my books right there.
I will. I judge. I judge. Reading is not for everyone.
We can't.
No, she has a lot
Okay,
of
so I'm
books in
front of
that.
this bookshelf. Yeah, this is where my phone's been sitting at. Never mind that. It's none
She
of your
said,
business.
"Don't look at. They came before Columbus."
But it
It's
is
okay.
there.
I got
You
it
know I
too.
have that book, right?
I had to figure it out why they keep saying it's crazy shit.
Yeah.
You haven't read it yet, Tommy?
It's a tough read. I don't
So
like
Yeah,
it.
it is.
So we've read this whole bottom shelf right here. And these with with not a Cotta Witch. A Cotta Witch is one. But
Quan got 50 Shades of everything.
where do you see that?
That's what the craziest said.
Yeah. That book, Asada Shakur. Wonderful.
One of my favorite books.
Mhm.
That was one of my favorite books.
We Refuse was an excellent book as well. But yeah, that's what we do. Here go when I say, like, when people get up and they start saying stuff about like Ayurvedic practices and stuff like that, I'm like, oh yeah, been there, done that. I know about this stuff, right?
Yeah.
I know about this stuff because I dove into it. Yeah.
I know I'm dyslexic because I say yin yoga. I said, why you need a book on yonis?
Listen.
Wait, say what, Tommy?
Listen, baby. That
My
young
brain
is
mixed
right
all those
though.
letters up.
Look, some people do need a book on that.
Yeah, well, you remember this book? Yin yoga
Yeah.
is so dope because it's slow and intentional. Like, I've got more, but that's just. Oh, Tommy J, you might enjoy this one. It's woo woo.
Yeah, because vibrations and sound. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
this made me want to go purchase tuning forks. Yep, because sound frequencies, and this is for you, Tay.
Crying. Is this a book of prayers? I'm crying.
Yeah.
Now, if
Yeah.
they would have had those prayers when I was in church, maybe I would have stayed.
Really good today.
I'm just saying, we
What about
didn't
us
have
praying? But
those.
these ain't the right prayers.
She said, I put one hand in the air, one hand in my underwear.
Oh, shit.
So we're
Well, you
also.
guys
The
are so
Holy
much
Ghost over
fun.
here.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, get the damn.
You guys have been so much fun, and I want to thank you all for being on my show again. And I hope we get to do this again in a couple months, because I'd love to have you guys back on in a few months. And I just want to thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it, Foxx and Quan, and I hope the audience has enjoyed it. You guys put W's in the chat for Foxx and Quan. They've just been amazing guests, and I love you guys so much. I love your shows, and I just want to thank you so much for supporting my show by coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
That
you
was
so
you,
much,
CrystalJae.
CrystalJae. That's right. That's right. I don't know how to throw up a W. Is that how you throw up a W?
Did
That's
I
the win.
please?
That's the win.
Well, boom.
You know how we throw
It's
it up
gonna
on the
do it in
west
sign
side.
language.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
What's up? Canada.
B.
Yes.
There you go.
Tommy J.
See how he was settle, like, he didn't do the whole cross.
How your fingers even go like that?
You gotta throw
I
it
don't
out
have
real
fingers like
quick.
that.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me stop before
I don't
start.
I
either.
just put the peace sign.
I can't. I don't know.
I gotta do it. I gotta do it with those hands and go like that.
What'd you say, Quan?
I said, why you so cute? What's your number?
7779311. Who going live next?
Five.
I am. I'm about to do the all-nighter.
Yep. You gonna come?
Okay, are you going to go live right now? Do you want us to wait and raid you? I know there's only 18 of us, but if you want to go start up, we can hang out here for a second, then we'll raid you.
That would be great. Yes, that'd be great. That'd be great. I appreciate you, CrystalJae. Thank you for having us on.
All right.
Really, really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy. And Quan.
I had a lot of fun.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go start up this live, and then we going to get it popping.
Okay.
Popping.
All right. We'll come raid you.
CrystalJae, I'm gonna tell you something. One thing that I did.
Do you guys got any plans for Father's Day tomorrow? Anything going on for anybody? Doug's boring, so we're not doing anything.
Sleep. CrystalJae, I want to share something with you. So, one of the things that I did in recapturing parts of my life was I went to go find my favorite childhood book.
I don't think she can hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Crystal, can you hear us?
No, I was freezing.
Can you
Can
hear
you
me
hear
now?
Quan?
I can now.
You have a really big lag.
But then I freeze again, and then I don't know why. Let me check.
Holy wife, down on me. Welcome back, CrystalJae.
All right. Can I hear you now? Yes, I can.
That's what I want to do. Okay, so one of the things that I did to like regain parts of me that were lost as a child was I went and got my favorite childhood book.
Let me see this.
It's the girl with the silver eyes. Flip this around so you can see.
Okay. Oh, wow. That looks good.
Yeah. This is a very, very, very good book. And you can't hear me? Yeah, you're
You're a little muffled.
Oh, how about now? I think
a
it was
little
where
better.
my finger was over the mic. So this book is about a girl who can move things with her mind. And there's a reason why she's so different. And she has silver eyes. Oh, you got a fan on? No.
It sounds like you're standing like right in front of the fan.
I don't have a fan on.
I don't know if the chat can hear you, but it's difficult to hear you up here.
It's difficult to hear you, Tay.
It might be CrystalJae then. But it's not,
Can
I
you
don't
guys
know.
hear me?
Yeah, you
Oh,
sound fine.
try and mute real quick, CrystalJae.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yep, that was CrystalJae. Standing inside
You
of the
sitting
house.
under a
I
fan?
don't even have anything on right now.
Really?
I
Are
did
your
have a
batteries
little fan
low
on
on
a
your
minute ago.
headset? That'll
Can
do
you
it.
hear this fan now?
Yeah,
A little bit. Foxy is live, y'all.
All right, you guys, Fox is live. Let's go, Read Fox. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the 46,000 likes. Thank you for the new subscribers. I do have some subscriber-only lives coming up. I don't have a lot on the schedule right now because sorry, I'm taking a little time off for streaming because I'm getting some things ready around my house to like redo my bedroom and stuff. So, but I will have allegedly Ian will be joining me on the 19th. So make sure you guys are following me if you'd like to see allegedly Ian on Decon Q&A with CrystalJae. And I have more great guests coming up. Thank you all for being here, and I'll see you around the mean streets of TikTok. Bye, everybody.
Bye.